Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're chatting Quantumania. Welcome to What We Watch. If you want to come up to the stage, just tap the mic and come on up and speak with me. It's time, guys. You're listening to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Quantumania. Come on in, tweet it out. How's y'all's evening? How's everybody doing? Let's see. Did we like that music? I think we kind of did. So tell me, come on up, come on up. Don't be shy. Welcome, welcome. Let's definitely talk a little bit about how we felt, right? What we watch is about how did this movie make you feel? Writers, directors, cinematographers are really trying to just make you have opinions, get you to watch it. This is Marvel. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Welcome, brown skin boy. Is that it?
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. How did you feel about Quantumania?
Um, it was questionable considering the fact that this is Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm
It
gonna,
it really didn't do much for me.
okay, okay. I like that. And I do want to keep this portion brief, is like if come up and just tell me kind of how you felt briefly and like when you watched this film. I want to start the conversation there, right? Generally speaking, these conversations for Marvel Cinematic Universe are very, very heated, very fun, very exciting. We're talking about the integration of new characters. We're talking about the next phase of the movie. We're ready to we're ready to go. And so I really just want to check the temperature. When did you watch the movie and how do you feel? Brown Skin Boy, thank you. Can everyone hear me? Henry, welcome to the stage.
Yes.
Pettius LA, welcome to the stage. Henry, when did you watch the film?
Watched it Thursday opening
You
weekend.
watched it opening night. How
So
did
did
you
I.
Mm-hmm.
give me a couple? Thank you, brown skin boy. Um, give me a couple of adjectives on how you felt about this film.
It was fine.
Fun.
I mean,
Okay.
the people that don't like it, I completely see why people would not like it as much. But I mean, we're 31 movies in here. Not all of them are going to be, you know, 10 out of 10s. But
31
yeah,
is
it's fine.
just 5 years younger than you, correct?
Okay, all right,
Correct.
that's enough.
Okay, so fun, and the people that didn't like it, I understand. Got it. The Pettiest LA, welcome to the stage. Welcome, Kim. When did you watch the film and how do you feel about it right now?
All right, so I watched it like right when I like Monday, right when I got back from the All-Star weekend. Like I was like really looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. Give me two
And
adjectives.
fun and entertaining.
Okay, okay. Kim?
I watched it the opening night on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday. Um, and for two adjectives, I don't really think I have any. I think it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like I guess like positive ones per se.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it was dragged out
Mm-hmm.
in Spy
Mm-hmm.
Kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're the second person to make a Spy Kids reference. And I want to be very clear, I enjoyed Spy Kids.
I also enjoy Spy Kids, but this one was
Yeah, there's a
a Spy Kids I didn't necessarily enjoy too
yeah, but no,
much.
I understand the comparison, and it's like I understand why it's not a good one because and I was just like leave. So sorry, Spy Kids, you did great, but that's not what we expect from Marvel Cinematic Universes. And I want to be clear. Let me start by saying this is going to be a unique space. I was back and forth, friends. If this is your first What We Watch space, welcome. This is not a safe space. Um, we are going to be honest and kind to each other. But if you wrong, you wrong. If you right, you right. If there's anything that we're missing, we finna address it. Okay, that's number one. Number two, this is going to be a unique space because generally speaking, like I said, Marvel films, they're exciting. Everyone's excited, and oh my gosh, what's next? And we got a new villain, and oh my gosh, the villain ate, and I can't even name any bodies that Kang got. So, anyways, um, I'm excited about this one though, because I want us to be honest. I want us to know that the Kang dynasty is actually just the Kang honesty. I want y'all to know that I really think that Kang is a sweet guy, and I think the premise of this film is completely lost and we've been misguided. We've been bamboozled. I don't think Kang is really the villain that um, they say he is. Now, if that's what they wanted me to take from this movie, that's fine. But uh, the Jonathan Majors Kang, I want to be clear about what Henry's saying. Henry, the movie was fine. I think the movie was fine. I think it was a fine movie. The things that I don't like about this movie are not because I pulled like expectations out of my ass. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has actually set a decent enough bar to where I'm comfortable with my expectations. You feel me, Kim, brown skin boy? You feel me? Like
Yes.
like you guys set this up, right? It's like when you're dating a guy and he like gets you like 1,000 flowers on the first date and then like it's your birthday and he gets you like 2 flowers and you're like, wait, you got me 1,000 flowers like off rip. Why is my birthday and you not doing enough? Like I don't understand this, right? And that analogy obviously has some holes, but I just want to be clear, like the expectation was set by you guys. So for this next phase, I just hope that we can, if you want me to go on a different ride with you, I hope like, okay, you're gonna have to do a good job on that new ride. Rito, welcome to the stage. When did you watch the
Yeah.
movie?
I watched it the day it came out. I actually liked it a
You liked it a
lot,
lot.
but I mean, I'm watching it different. Like I'm not watching it expecting Kang to be who he's gonna be in like the final two
Mm-hmm.
movies. I really understand what they're doing where
Mm-hmm.
they're not showing the strongest Kang yet. You know what I mean? When they showed He
Mm-hmm.
Who Remains in the Loki
Mm-hmm.
series, and then they're showing this Kang who's trapped that they exiled. Like they all the other Kangs didn't really rock with this one, so they put him over here. He's not as strong as the strongest Kangs. You know what I mean? Even the one
Mm-hmm.
that they showed the preview for the new Loki, that Kang, that's like one of the first ones. He doesn't have no recollection of all the other
Mm-hmm.
Kangs. So they're showing like different levels of him. And
Mm-hmm.
by the time we get to the Kang dynasty, when the Avengers have to fight them, that it's gonna be the craziest thing we probably ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Nah,
he's
Rito,
worse
he,
than
he he was
Thanos.
supposed to catch 10 bodies in this
Mm,
movie.
okay.
He was
Nah,
supposed
that
to
this
catch
Kang,
10 bodies,
but
according
this
to
Kang,
So
everyone.
I
no, this Kang
I
isn't that Kang though. This Kang the Kang that catches the bodies. This isn't that guy.
so
Yeah, he's not the prime Kang, so
so
that makes sense.
so I appreciate that theory. I've heard that maybe 5 times in all the arguments I've been having. I appreciate it. I respect it. Um, there's a responsibility in film when you're introducing your villain, narratively speaking, in a phase of movies, that if you're going to advertise this as the coronation of your villain, then I expect some sort of commitment there. And if you don't have that commitment for me, that's fine. But I want us to know that like film should be experienced as film is marketed. And yes, there are movies to come, but this movie should stand alone strongly narratively on its own, regardless of what's to come or what we've seen in the past. And if this is not the strongest Kang, excuse me, um, then that's fine. Why did he have the bars that he did? right? That's my first question. If he's the strongest Kang, if he's not the strongest Kang, then why are you using this version to introduce him? If he's not the strongest Kang, why did you rely on post credits to kind of allude to stronger Kangs? Why wasn't that a part of the film? I don't want post credits to become a crutch. Those are supposed to be exciting additional pieces of information and not a crutch to a lack of narrative kind of like holes in a movie. Um, yeah, this movie is setting up for the rest. Like he's gonna go off in the rest ones. Why couldn't he go off here? Are you afraid of and he doesn't have to go off in the 10 body way, but you're presenting a villain to me. Um, you have a responsibility to present a villain to me. If he's just a cool guy having tea with me, which is what I think it is, and which is why I'm tempering my experience in this, and like, oh, this is just a sweet guy. He's a sweet guy. He actually just, he wants to have lunch with me. We're gonna have lunch tomorrow. He's a sweet guy. He's like a Twitter guy. Like he talks a lot of shit, but like really ain't no witnesses, bro. Like you really not about nothing, actually. Like I'm not scared. Me and you gonna chill. We gonna be all right. You're not gonna talk crazy to me, cause like I don't believe you. You need more people. So, and that's fine, but don't advertise in the way that it's not, because I want to be clear, Marvel has introduced many villains to us. So it is very bizarre that the decision for this villain was this route, regardless of comics, because not everything is like perfectly to the comics with Thanos and the Eternals and everything. Like it's damn near, close, and they preserve the storylines. But if you're going to introduce a villain to me, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, outside of Loki, there's some responsibilities. Petty SLA, go ahead.
Uh, so I want to push back on that.
Yeah,
Like, I absolutely movie should stand narratively on
yeah,
its own, but with the context of like the Marvel Cinematic
right.
Universe uh, built on, right? And for me, like the first time that we saw like Thanos, he didn't. It wasn't like at the beginning of like Infinity War,
Okay,
right? Or
let's talk
the
about
you
that.
know this.
How were we introduced to Thanos?
in a post credit scene.
And what
Yeah,
did he do in the post-credit scene?
He turned rock chill. He turned to the camera and he smiled.
I was about to be like he laughed or something. It wasn't really
He
anything that.
said I'll do it
It was a couple.
myself, and then he turned around
Yeah.
and it do it faded myself out. was like the third
Right.
one. Like
No,
he
the
did
first
like
time
three or
just
four.
he just turned
You're
to
So
the
right.
he
camera.
You're
didn't
right.
he didn't have no words in the film. He didn't fake to be anything else. He just what's his name? Who's the actor that plays Thanos? What's his
Josh
name?
Brolin.
Josh
I think
Brolin. Josh
it was still
Brolin.
a CGI cat.
What?
Nothing. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mo.
It wasn't that
Josh
guy at
Bro.
It
first.
wasn't that
It
guy at
wasn't him at
first.
first
Oh,
though.
okay. So Josh
Yeah,
Brolin was not in the post credit
it
scene.
was
Okay.
it was that black guy that was in Civil War. I can't remember that was fighting against
Yeah,
Black
it was
Oh,
a
Widow.
okay.
black
That's
dude.
good information. I didn't know that. Okay. So we were
Yeah.
introduced to Thanos
yeah.
because I appreciate this. I like this. Let's go down this path. Petty SLA, we're going to let you finish. So we're introduced to Thanos in a post credit scene, right? So, but there's no kind of narrative within the film that was like maybe we alluded to them. We alluded to the guy quite a bit in the film, but like he wasn't really. There was no dialogue that made us believe that he was more or less powerful than he is, right? So then we meet him in the post credit scenes, sure, which I just told you guys, like, sure, we're not going to, post credit scenes aren't a crutch. In the next film, how was he presented? I know the answer. Like, do y'all remember how Thanos was presented? Because he wasn't even on screen when he was finally, like, spoken about and presented. Go ahead, Brown Skin Boy. Did you unmute? Brown Skin Boy?
Wasn't his next appearance like in Guardians of the Galaxy?
So Thanos really had people talking about him, and then he had an army come, and then he showed up, right?
Right.
So, but go ahead, Petty SLA. So, I want to address. We can compare Kang and Thanos. I'm ready for that too. Let's have the argument. So, go ahead, Petty SLA though.
So based on what you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, if we're really about King the
Mm-hmm.
Conqueror, then we need to go Loki, right? Because the last episode he remains. That's really the first
Correct.
introduction, to the character,
But
and like in people. I know. I guess at that point, it's being alluded to, right?
Right.
Prior to
But
that.
the
So
MCU as a business also knows that people, narratively, movies need to stand alone because the viewership for Loki is nowhere near the same as the viewership for a Marvel Cinematic movie, right? Like we all know that.
yeah,
But go ahead.
but I was gonna say, isn't I felt like in this movie specifically, like Kang, like, the movie wasn't about Kang. We're talking about him as if like
Hmm.
he's the protagonist, which I know that there was a lot of time spent talking about him, but the story was really like, right about Ant-Man and
Yeah. No,
his
this is Ant-Man Family Vacation to the Quantum Realm. That's what
yeah.
this movie is. I want to be very clear. This is an Ant-Man Family Vacation to the Quantum Realm.
Before going, I just want to say like I feel like uh, Jonathan Majors did a really good job of like what he was presented with. Like I understand the
Oh my God.
criticism, but
Yes.
I, th- I think he like stole every single scene that he was in. Reminded me, like obviously not the same because the movie wasn't as good, but it kind of reminded me of The Dark Knight. How like
Yes. I love that comparison.
I'm not comparing the performances because that's like the to me like the greatest superhero movie performance
Okay,
of
come
all
on,
time.
taste. Okay, taste.
But like I feel like that sense where he stole each scene that he was in. So like I as much as like
Mm.
in spite of all presenting, I thought he was still like amazing and that I look forward to seeing what happens with whatever variants are of King. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to put that out.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Majors has been phenomenal in every role. He steals a scene in every fucking movie. I just want to be very clear. I've been a Jonathan Majors fan for a very long time now. I'm glad everyone's on board. And it was evident in Loki, quite honestly. Like the excitement in my heart and in my soul when it was like teased that he was going to be on Loki, right? I was like, oh my god! And then he gets on screen for 3.5 minutes, and best part of the whole fucking show. I watched 10 hours of this show, however many hours. Kang on
Facts.
the screen for 2.5 seconds. I was like, yes, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So I fully agree. Um, Narratively is where things fell flat, and that's just like the mark of an amazing fucking actor. For him to just body that role. I want to welcome D or Homie up here. Welcome. First, you got to answer when did you watch the film and two adjectives to describe how you felt about it.
Oh, that's great. And thank you for having me,
Of
Mo.
course.
Um, I saw it Thursday. What's that, like technically premiere night?
Yeah,
Um, Two words. I mean, not to sound cliche, I think disappointing is a
that's
stretch.
fair.
I
Okay.
will say disappointing, but that's definitely a stretch. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Disappointing, and uh, it,
Yeah.
what's the word there's a term I'm looking for, but
I support
fiscal year end. That's what it felt like. They wanted to wrap up certain contracts. I don't know much about the industry. Like I really don't, like as far as like that, what the execs do, but I swear it felt like they were like, "Oh, we got to wrap up this contract before this day, or we get hit with this tax cracked over it all felt like it, like they were like,
facts.
okay, so
Facts.
we can close out they felt like they can close out the Michael Douglas contract. They can close the Pfeiffer one. They can close the Paul Rudd one. They were like, we can introduce majors. We can beat fiscal year end 2023 quarter one. This is great. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
But yet they didn't wrap up any of their stories, so that was what I expected.
Okay.
right.
Fi-
Again, it
Fiscal
Let me
literally
year
felt
end.
let
if
me.
it felt like
Yep.
Marvel slash National Lampoon's introduces, like you said, Ant-Man Family Vacation. It
Correct.
really did.
This was
But
the
thank
"Are
you
we
guys.
there yet" for the Lang family. Yeah. That's fine. Henry, welcome to the stage too, as well. Hello. Please answer the questions when you watched it and two adjectives.
Yes, how you doing?
Good, good.
Um, yeah, definitely. I saw it Thursday, so premiere night, opening
Mhm.
night. And the two adjectives, I'd say one was probably just simply wow, wow in a good
Okay,
way, not wow in a derogatory
okay.
way
Wow, in a
whatsoever.
good way. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the second one, um, what's a good word for like uh another word for like anticipation, like
You ready for the
I'm
next one?
like Correct. Yeah, yes,
Mm,
because I'm
mhm,
just
mhm,
geared towards what or how they're gonna encounter Kang in some sort of way or
mhm,
fashion. Because like going off just off of the way how it
mhm,
ended, and then we saw the post credit
mhm,
scenes, and about the first one where we basically see the Council of
mhm.
Kangs, and they did an amazing job with how Jonathan Majors was suited up with all those other variants like King Ramatut, Immortus, and stuff,
Did
and it looked just like one of the old comics from back
did
then.
you
Uh,
Hell
appreciate that
yes.
wardrobe?
yeah, or
Oh,
which wardrobe? All of them, basically.
I
oh my
I'm
God.
not
All of
sure
them.
that there was
Yeah.
enough money put into those wardrobes. I was not happy
I,
about that. I was not happy, guys. I'm
Okay.
going to
oh,
tell you right now.
Especially Immortus and Black
Thank you
King.
so. I'm going to tell you right now, guys. I I want everybody to speak because like I am so okay with arguing. This is not a safe space. No, I mean this is a safe space in the sense that like everybody's opinions are going to be honored. But here,
Safe space for
yeah, it's a safe
fights.
space to fight. I have never hosted a space in which I have had this experience with a movie, and I probably had this experience with the movie before, but I'm just very cognizant of it right now. When I was watching the film, I had a good time. I want to be very clear. I had a good time during the film. I was like, this is cool. This is really cool. I walked out of the theater and I was like, yeah, that wasn't bad. Yeah, pretty cool. And I'm not a film critic. I want to be very clear about what we watch is and who I am as a person in the industry, an artist, a lover of film. I'm not a film critic. I'm not here to rate movies. I don't do that. I don't see the point in that. I'm not saying that y'all can't. I see if those people that do, that's great. I don't see the point in it for me. I'm gonna tell you how it made me feel, and I'm gonna let you know if I was the right audience for it and if it narratively made sense as a screenwriter for me, right? And so the next morning I woke up mad. And I said, hold on, did I really like that movie? It left a lot to be wanted. And then I woke up the next day and I had a conversation and I said, oh my guys, I have never ever in my life, generally speaking, my experience with film is I liked it, it was cool, and the next few days either I don't think about it, I'm ready for the next film, or I'm still very excited about what's to come. This movie stayed on my mind, right? So some shout out to them for staying on my mind with this fucking movie. But I got angrier and angrier as the days went on. So I was like, we gotta have this space now because y'all gonna catch me at a really angry point. And I was just like, damn, there was so much missing from this. So I walked out like I was sitting there during this is fun. I walked out like, okay, not bad. Then the next few days, I was just like, no, actually, no, 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 no. Hold the fuck on. So that's a unique experience for me, guys. Very unique experience for me. Please, understand that that's my journey with this film. Brown Skin Boy. I'm sorry. Let me let Kim speak, and then Brown Skin Boy, and then Petty SLA, and then Dior and Rita. I know you had your hands up. Go ahead, Kim.
So I feel like I kind of had like a similar experience where I was like, it wasn't terrible. Like I feel like I've seen a worse Marvel movie, which is Thor: Love and Thunder, but or Guardians, both of them, one and two. So I was kind of like, I've seen worse Marvel
Now hold on
movies,
now,
you
because I
know?
like Thor: Love. Now hold on now, and that's because they presented their villain properly. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Did
Yes, they
they?
did. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Um, but so I feel like I went through some stages of emotions where I was just like, it wasn't the worst, and I still maintain that it was not one of the worst Marvel movies I've seen. Um, I just also feel like I walked into the movie theater expecting Paul Rudd to transition, and he didn't. So,
Mm-hmm.
or my other option that I think I would have been happy with is if 4 out of the 5 people that went to the quantum realm got stuck there
Mm-hmm.
and one person made it out only to warn the Avengers that Kang is coming. I would have actually kind of messed with
Kim,
that. Like if
you
Kang didn't have to
you
kill
you
everybody.
spitting you
I
spitting right now. Thank you, Kim. Kim.
like if he and if like in the idea that like y'all didn't want Kang to kill people, okay, then let them be stuck in the quantum
Kim.
realm. So
Thank
those
you.
were like my
All right.
two ideal ending. So when it ended with this fake happy ending, I was
Yo.
lost. But I did want to push back on the post credit scene where I was like, they killed Kang and it's a happy
Mm,
ending. So I was actually happy to get to the post credit
yeah, me
scene and see
too.
the Council of Kangs and see that there are more Kangs and there are worse
I
Kangs
think.
coming.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
and that made me
narratively.
look forward to something.
Yeah, I think narratively the post credit scenes were more powerful than the entire film. But
And it was the only thing that I think is why I will say it wasn't one of the worst Marvel
But
movies I've seen, and it
I
really
want to
might have
make
saved it.
sure that Marvel doesn't get to use post-credit scenes to push stories forward. I don't think that's fair. I think post-credit scenes are to get us excited about what's to come, not push forward what's to come. Do you feel me? You get what I'm saying? I hope that's I hope
Yeah,
that's clear.
I get it, but I think in this one it did a little bit of
Okay.
both. It pushed forward something, but
I
also
didn't
got us excited that there are worse Kangs coming,
and that's
and this
fine.
was not the worst
It
one.
better be worse Kings coming, or I'm gonna talk shit about this movie even more. It better be worse Kings coming.
I think that's definitely it. I think we're gonna be surprised, kind of like
I hope
how
so.
when Thanos beat up Hulk. I think it's gonna be like when we see like the Kang dynasty, they're gonna have like the strongest Kang kill Ant-Man or something, so we realize like it's this is the strongest
I
one. I think they'll
I
do
I mean,
respect
something
but
that.
like that.
Ant-Man should have been mollywopped by any Kang.
Here's
It doesn't matter which
yeah, y'all
one.
not
No,
being honest.
like
Y'all not
even
being
He Who
honest. This is
Remains.
not honest. So I understand that there is more to come. This is the first movie in Phase 5, and there's more Kangs, and I understood, heard you, understand fully. You have a responsibility in every film that you put out to tell a complete, full narrative story that makes sense, especially when your villain, and I've said this before in a lot of spaces, maybe you haven't seen the spaces, go to whatwewatch.net or heard the spaces. Villains have a purpose in a story, and is to move the plot forward, right? That's one of the very definitions of a villain. You have to move the plot forward. You approach someone told it like we're talking about him like he's the protagonist. No, no, no. We're talking about him as he's the villain because that's what he's presented and marketed to us as in the next phase of Marvel. So he has a responsibility. This character has a responsibility to pose harm and obstacles to the protagonist groups, ensemble, Avengers, whatever. Okay, he has a responsibility. Uh, what did he do? Did he really give anybody problems in this movie? Was anybody really stressed around Kang? I want to be clear. There's 3 generations of Langs here. Okay, we got the whole Lang family went on a vacation to the quantum realm. Let me tell you why I know that. 80-year-old Janet, 87-year-old Hank, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and their young teenage inexperienced ass daughter all made it back to their reservation for Maggiano's after a run-in with Kang the Conqueror. I want to be very clear. At the end of the film, they all went home after a run-in with Kang the Conqueror and made it in time for the reservation they made before they got accidentally sucked into the quantum realm, and had a fake birthday dinner at Maggiano's and enjoyed. Nobody was hospitalized. Nobody was nobody really even needed therapy. Remember Hulk needed therapy after his engagement? Nobody even really needed
Nothing.
therapy. Everybody didn't even I don't even know if people showered after they left the quantum realm. They kind of just was like, okay. They beat Kang and then they went home and enjoyed a privileged white family birthday dinner, which wasn't a real birthday dinner. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I do. I do. I don't care if there's stronger Kangs. I have a problem with that. Why did the entire family go on vacation to the quantum realm in the coronation of Kang in the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 5? Why? Why didn't he catch no bodies? Why was the body that he caught uh, the weird version of C3PO? And why did you give him stormtroopers? Why did the most intergalactic genius, whether I don't care what variant it is, he is an intergalactic genius with the most advanced tech, and he's fucking terrifying. Why do he have a bunch of stormtroopers and his only body is C3PO light? I don't understand that. And then he killed 4 indigenous peoples of the quantum realm that none of you can name. None of you can just tell me anybody that he killed right now. You can't. Because he didn't get
Oh,
that
buddy.
MODOK body is not his. MODOK was kamikaze. Okay. That body was not Kang's. He don't get that body. A robot is not a sentient being. So he didn't catch that body. They're just gonna rebuild that robot. Okay. I didn't see no ants die. Did you see any ants die? I didn't see no ants die. I didn't see one ant die. I saw ants being flung, which we fling ants all the time, guys. You know they be living. Okay. Um, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned that 3 generations of this white privileged family all went home in time for a reservation unscathed, essentially. after a run-in with Kang the Conqueror, who had the streets in the quantum realm shook. Kang had the streets in the quantum realm on lock. When Janet landed in the quantum realm, she was like, ooh, hide behind these trees. Don't let his fucking ships even accidentally see you. He had the whole quantum realm shook. Lang family pulled up, chilling, pulled out, went to Maggiano's. Everybody cool. Doesn't matter to me. Whole family, 87 to 15 years old. Everybody good. I have a problem with that. And y'all should have a problem with that. The Kang Conqueror?
I think the one thing I think the one thing universally everybody can agree on is that how the fuck did that whole movie go front to back and none of that group
Not
die?
one.
Or lose an arm, come
Hosp-
back with like, and having to create like
A
a mechanical leg,
hospitalization. A
something,
hospitalization is
anything.
cool with me. Fine. They're in a coma or they, are in critical condition and then they survive and shit, they even can survive in the post credits. Because I told you, I'm gonna be honest through and through about the post credit scenes. Like they cannot be crutches for film narratives, the story narratively moving forward. Kang the Conqueror, you're telling me that he's just not the strongest one? He is still a variant of Kang the Conqueror, who believed himself to be strong enough to defeat other Kangs. So you mean to tell me that this man is just delusionally confident like many are? So I understand narratively that kind of checks out. Many men are delusionally confident, but he's delusionally confident to look at Ant-Man, who's at best a sea-level Avenger, and say to him, have I killed you before? He said that. He said, have I killed you before? And
And then
that man
reference
walked
killing
out with his
Thor.
great-grandparents and his great-grandchildren unscathed.
No, and then also reference killing Thor in that same
Right,
sentence.
You
Do
killed
So
right.
you
Killing
think
a
he
that was
god.
what
means?
made
you
it
killed
very
Thor?
wild. Like you
I
killed
don't think he
Thor.
means. I don't think he means he physically did. I physically kill you. I think he's saying did a Kang kill you?
Like he just senses it that
He
another one
Yeah,
did
he
senses
it
that
senses
somewhere.
that a
another
Kang might have
Kang
killed him.
killed
He's
him.
not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's asking if another Kang has killed him before. I don't
Interesting.
think he means like did I physically
So
kill
that's
you?
why I know that this is
Well, I
just
mean,
a racial.
he had trouble remembering which Avengers he killed, so I think he did.
I thought it was
Mm,
him that because I was about to be like, no,
okay.
he made it seem like, oh, did I kill you before? I can't
Yeah,
remember because
here's the
I've killed so
thing.
many people. It's starting
Narratively
to
speaking,
blend.
if it's not clear, that's also a fucking problem. Because why did you say that? You wrote that line in that film. Why did he say that
Hmm.
if you didn't want me to believe? Like I said, if in the 2025 we get an answer about this Quantumania, which I'm telling y'all right now, you're not gonna get this. But if we get an
But why would you ask a live man if I killed you before?
because that's what we're talking about, the variants. Like, I've killed a variant of you before, which means that all of my variants are strong too. And I believe that your variants are also of the same fucking power level. So I feel like I've killed you before. She literally, Janet, racially profiled my guy and saw the things that he did in other universes. I'm of the mind that Janet is a white woman that we can't trust, which is like, generally speaking, we should know that. The way she judged that black man, I don't appreciate it. I don't know what she saw.
And she was giving that thing out. She was
I
giving
don't
that
know what
thing
she
out in the
saw.
quantum realm.
I'm screaming because you can tell that they were
I don't
fucking
know what
and
she
while they was
saw
trying to rebuild that
in that
mind.
kind black man when she touched his thoughts or whatever the fuck she did. Because I don't know. He didn't really cause no problems in this movie. So maybe you saw another version of Kang when you touched that ship, ma'am. Maybe you saw another version. Maybe you saw him like fighting. Because think about the scene, guys. I don't know how many times you've watched it, but like if you go back and watch the scene, there's just flashes. There's nothing really of him actually. It's just flashes of things getting flown around. And you know they'd be putting black men in really messed up situations, and the media will let it think that you're the villain. I don't think we can trust that white woman's recount of what Kang was doing in the other worlds because he really came to the quantum world and didn't do nothing. I think he was chilling. I really think he was just chilling. I really
Hmm.
think this guy is not a big bad guy. Maybe his other variants are, and I think that's great. But I think narratively, aren't we supposed to adhere to the idea that all multiversal variants of you, though of different maybe experiences, still have the same kind of fundamental purpose and will? Loki has fought himself, right? If you watch Loki, Loki watched himself, fought himself. Cap has fought variants of himself. Doctor Strange fought variants of himself. And in every one of those fights, guys, the there was pretty much equal ground. So I'm confused as to why I'm supposed to believe that Kang is supposed to be a quote unquote weaker Kang when narratively you haven't shown me that different variants are quote unquote weaker. You haven't even shown that. So I don't understand that theory either.
Nah, they showed in Loki, he who remains was a bitch.
No, he remains with an
Mm.
emotional bitch. He had different emotions and experiences, but if it was like a fight,
Yeah, PTSD.
yeah, if it was a physical fight between them, a la Doctor Strange, right? Because Doctor Strange was getting beat by Doctor Strange. Now, obviously, the main one won, but again, so I guess you haven't shown me the main Kang. Uh, uh, why would you do that? Even Thanos, when he was introduced, Thanos had the here's the parallel I make with Thanos. We met a lot of Thanos's minions or whatever, right? Before we actually met Thanos. Am I correct on that? Correct me if I'm wrong. We met.
And
Yeah.
I
Yep.
feel like they're gonna do the same
Well,
thing
no,
with
no, no. I
Kang. We're
want to
gonna
tell
fight
you.
all the lesser
I already
Kangs
told that's
until we
what
get the
we're
big
already
Kang.
doing, right? So basically, what y'all are telling me is that we just met a quote unquote minion of Kang, but Kang is not Thanos where he has an army. Kang is a million Kangs, and there's different Kangs for the armies of different Kangs, and then maybe those Kangs also have armies. So that's actually even scarier, right? And so that's where the parallel is. So Thanos is the one. Then he was presented with an army of people, and people shook, and he sent the Ebony Maws of the world, which is my gang, 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 gang. But Kang is just a bunch of other Kangs as well. There's still a responsibility to have folks shook when you introduce your villain. And we were shook about Thanos. Do we need to have the same storyline as Thanos? No.
No,
But if you
not
have,
even the same formula.
yeah, but if you have a villain that you present with this like narrative and you have this multiversal narrative, I think in one of the spaces, I'm gonna let y'all talk. In one of the spaces before, someone expressed a concern about the next phase of the film, and they said, I'm concerned that the cheat code was found in having the multiverse and that the writing is going to get lazy because if you don't have this one or you don't get attached too much to this one, there's just another Kang. And that doesn't mean that you get to let the other Kang stories be lazy because there's a million more Kangs. That's lazy. That's not fun and exciting. That's lazy. And you could do that for the rest of time. And now, of course, we're going to watch not only the 31st movie, but we'll watch the 49th movie because we always know that there's another variant out there that we can attach and invest ourselves in. Brown Skin Boy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get Kevin Feige's number because I just want to know, like, who is giving him all of these ideas?
Right.
Because it's just like the fact, first of all, we already know most of us don't even care about Ant-Man.
Correct.
And he was, yeah, like,
Hold
and
up.
he was like during in the interview where he was when he was filming it, he was like Ant-Man is like one of the most underrated characters. No, it's just nobody don't care about him. He's not important
Ja,
whatsoever. And I can see why in
ja.
Endgame they try to make him of an importance, but it's just
Correct.
like he's
And might
lame
I
and
add, they
he's
did a great job of making him of an importance. And I think they did what the most you could do about Ant-Man. They did a really good job of
yeah.
the nigga get big and small. You know, he kind of, he kind of stressing people out sometimes. I respect it.
And they were like, what if three heroes that do the same goddamn thing for two
Right.
hours for the third movie? Fantastic. Let's
Let's
do
do
that.
that. And
Yeah,
actually,
and it's like I would think they would have learned from their previous mistakes from the other two Ant-Man movies, from the critics and the consumers,
correct.
but obviously they have not.
Correct. Here's the thing. You either make Ant-Man 3, Lang Family Vacation, or you make Kang 1, the coronation of Kang, whatever. The Kang Conqueror, and whatever. Call it whatever you want.
Hmm. Council of
Council of
Kangs.
Kangs, right?
Kangs are coming.
King, okay, we got plenty bars. Either you make one movie or the other. You know what they said? They said, actually, let's put them together. And all of us in this room were like, wow, that sounds really fucking cool. Okay. I don't really give a fuck about Ant-Man, but them first two movies, they weren't like the best, but they weren't like the worst. They're funny. And I know I'm terrified of Kang, so this couldn't possibly go wrong. They had us invested in the Ant-Man movie more than ever, okay? So I see the vision. I was like, okay, cool. And in my friend's words, in an attempt to make Ant-Man 3 and Kang 1, they put it together, and I think they failed at both, guys. if this stands alone as an Ant-Man movie, this is not even a good Ant-Man movie. If this stands alone as a Kang 1 movie, it's not a good Kang 1 movie. I liked Ant-Man 2 and 1 better than this one. If I say we don't need a killer Kang, fine. He didn't have to catch bodies, fine. I don't even like this Ant-Man movie still. Nobody really got, like, even in the first few movies, they were stressed. Ant-Man 1 and 2, they were stressed in those films, okay?
You were stressed in too?
I was a little stressed. It was funny. It was playful. You're right. It was like more playful in that one, right? Because it was like, what is that? That's the little bus situation. Where the little car, big car? Where were they at in a roller coaster? Where were they at in Ant-Man 2?
It was when the mom came, the
Oh,
original
she
Wasp
was
came
stuck in the
back,
She
quantum
was stuck
realm.
in a, but it.
and she came back from the quantum realm, and then they had that girl, the light skinned
Ghost
girl,
or
that was
whatever.
Lawrence Fishburne's daughter,
Yeah.
Ghost.
um,
Yeah, Ghost.
jumping in
But
and out of
didn't but
stuff.
didn't like one of them
Yeah,
end up
super
like
stressy.
stuck there for a while? So like it was a concern, right? We were like fighting for like some sort of stakes, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Maybe I
it
don't.
at the end.
Oh, good lord,
Yeah,
the
didn't he like
stakes
double
word.
shrink?
No one,
What'd you say?
I
no, no,
rewatched it, and I felt like it was a very low stakes movie. So I don't know who got
no,
Here's the
stuck
thing.
anywhere.
I
no
think
one,
that
no
if
one
you
stuck.
present an Ant-Man film, I don't expect high stakes. So like that's what I'm saying. Like I still feel like they were stressed given the circumstance, right? Were they stressed in a Kang movie? No, but it wasn't a Kang movie. It was like they were stressed given the circumstance. They had us committed for this fun, normal Ant-Man ride where our expectations are already at the ground. I think they did a fine job both times. I'm not going into an Ant-Man film thinking this is a Thor film or a Captain America film or even a fucking Iron Man film. RIP to my guy. I'm just going in like, okay, it's gonna be some fun, crazy stuff. Somebody gonna get big, somebody gonna get small, somebody gonna get stressed, somebody gonna get stuck. And guys, the name of the film was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Where was the Wasp and where was the Quantumania? Where was the mania? I didn't feel no mania. I feel like everybody was chilling in that movie. There was no mania there.
It was about Janet the Wasp, not Hope
Mm-hmm.
the Wasp, to
So
be
the
honest.
Wasp,
You aren't
the
wrong,
Wasp
Mo.
was Janet.
I felt the madness in the multiverse of madness.
I
I
did
did
not
not
feel
feel
the
the
mania
mania in
here.
this
Where's
Quantumania.
the
None,
mania?
none.
How do you?
There was definitely no Quantum Mania, but the Wasp was
So
not
the
Hope
Wasp
that we were
was
focused.
was her mom.
Yes.
I just want to know, how did he manage to get eaten up by some ants?
So why that's a concern to me too, Bronskin boy. That's a concern. Here's the thing. What this movie tells me is that if you have ants on your planet, you can beat Kang. It's fine. Just get some ants. Call up Hank. Have him fuck with them for like a couple of weeks. Get that advanced tech in there. Send him back. And you don't even need 1,000 like he had. You need about 20 of them. You need about 20 ants. Because remember, also narratively speaking, guys, there was a written bar in there, and the camera pans closely up to Hank's face as he says, I don't think you guys really understand. There are billions more ants than people. So that means in a stadium full of Kangs, if you give me 60,000 Kangs, I really just need like 200,000 ants. That's what you told me in this film. That's what you told
Period.
me. And I know that you have that because you just told me that. You just panned into his face as he said that because you wanted me to sit with that. There are so many ants. Like, you don't even know. You think there's a lot of people? There's 3 times as many ants. There's billions of people. Bet. So every time a Kang pull up, I'm going to get a couple ants on him and we're good to go. That's what I know right now.
And it also baffles me because they did the same thing with Black Widow, and like with Multiverse of Madness. They didn't really give me a good final fight scene.
Ant-Man punched that man 3 times. Kang had that nigga in hell, mind you. Kang had Ant-Man nearly beat, or so we thought in this room. So we thought. Ant-Man got a couple of punches, some way, somehow. The Wasp comes in. This is why it's confusing. So the Wasp is like 2 Wasps. Because if it was the Wasp, then why didn't Janet get the final fight scene? She didn't do nothing. She ran out into the world quick. Um, then the other Wasp, whatever, came and saved her man and got a couple hits on him too, and then he gets sucked up by his energy core, and then they played in our face. I'm gonna tell you how they played in our face. Sometimes you don't know when you get played in your face because you're getting played. Let me tell you how they played in our face. Ant-Man has an existential moment where he's like, "Oh my God, did I kill Kang?" And I'm like, "Yo, I have the same question." And I'm like, oh my God, they're about to end this movie very well. Because that's what you need to do. You need to make me shook about if Kang is actually dead or not. I like that. I appreciated that like little moment where we zoomed in on his face. Wait, what if I didn't? What if he comes back? What da da da? And then we immediately zoom back out and they go to Maggiano's. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Let that moment sit, right? And then this is why a bunch of theories are flying around. Is that Kang really dead? Okay. Here's the thing.
We, but I think also Ant-Man's existential crisis wasn't even necessarily did I kill Kang. It was that Kang warned me that there were other Kangs.
Yeah.
So are these other Kangs for me because I killed
But
this
he
Kang?
opened the line with, "Did I actually kill that Kang?" And even if I did, okay, so that's what. So the second part of it was like, even if I did, there are others, and should I be scared? But like, I guess who cares, right? And it's like that was a post-credit scene, though. Show me that in the film, then. Why did you post-credit scene that? I
I,
don't use that. But go ahead. Hold on.
I got another
Let me
issue
let Henry. I love to speak about the issues in this film. Let me let Henry
for
speak, and
sure.
then you go.
All right. No, okay, I just wanted to ask
Yeah.
earlier, like, were you kind of trolling about the part about Janet and how she figured how Kang was doing that destroying stuff?
I was
Honest
I
question.
was kind of trolling, but honestly, not really, because the movie showed me that Kang really wasn't causing too many problems. The whole Lang family went
Oh,
home. So if
right.
you
Okay.
have like some theoretical background about what Janet saw, please feel free.
Okay, because when we've already seen from MN2,
Right.
I mean, well, first of all, no one was trapped like no one was trapped. Well, Janet was trapped in the quantum realm,
For 30 years. Right.
and right, and they brought her out, and Ghost was the whole thing on the side.
Right.
But what the when Janet came out, she was able to have like those kind of special powers. I guess she got from the quantum realm,
Right.
where she could be able to stabilize Ghost, and so I guess that also came in the fact where I guess she could be able to, I guess, use telepathy or something in a sense. That's how she was able to
Mm.
control that
Very
manta
interesting.
ray from the middle of the movie, and then they were flying and gliding and stuff. And so obviously when
Ah.
they were when she was like, I guess, touching that energy core or something,
Yeah.
she was able to, I guess, get a glimpse of what he was encountering. You understand?
So
So
so when you say that, right? Let me stop you. When you
okay,
say
but
what he was encountering, you mean the Kang that I saw or other variants of Kang? Can you
I'm
tell me
pretty
that definitively?
I'm pretty sure it's probably the one that he like the one that we saw, the one that was
The one
with
that
her.
we saw. So the
Yeah,
one that we saw had everybody in hell everywhere, but the Lang family went out unscathed. Okay, got it.
right. I mean,
Okay.
as unpractical or practical as it sounds, yes. And
So you
so
see why I have a problem? You see why I was like
I
only kind of semi
understand.
trolling because I'm like, that's interesting. That's an interesting choice.
Right. And so when after she saw that, she was shook,
Sure. Right.
and then you see Kang, he kind of was, and I love how Jonathan Majors was performing his act, like he
Mm.
was kind of
Mm-hmm.
just stifling his anger in
Right.
terms of, what did you see? Tell me. She didn't want to do anything, and she was like, okay, you know what,
Right.
I'm not gonna help you anymore, and then ended up using those like PIM particle stuff to blow up the energy core thing.
So if
Yeah,
he
um
I'm
really
sorry to cut
had
you off. I gotta take
multiple,
off, but I just want to say thank you for
thank you.
having me.
Oh, thank you. So if he had multiple, thank you so much. If he had multiple realms and universes in hell, why did everyone in the Lang family go home safely? I don't understand that.
yeah, that, okay, like the way how you brought that up, yes, I understand that.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
Why?
Yes. I,
Why did everybody go home safely? He had multiple worlds in hell. Multiple worlds. Was it no other Lang families anywhere in those other worlds? Did all of them go home safely in every world that he conquered? I don't understand. Why
right.
did I feel like he was nerfed? Honestly, I don't even like to use that term. I feel like he was nerfed. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. Understandable. See,
Yeah, yeah.
it,
Welcome. 2 hour lunch break. Welcome. How are you? Oh, go ahead, Henry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll just wrap it up here real quick.
No.
Um, where was I? Where was I? Okay. And so then towards the end, I feel like it was sort of like a premonition. I don't think, honestly,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they don't have to like give us everything in one
I
go.
agree. I agree.
We are literally gonna not just, I hear what you're saying about the
Mm.
it's like a cheat code with the multiverse. We can have another
Yeah.
chance, lazy writing, yada yada. Right.
Right.
But at the same token, when we see with Kang, we know that we're obviously going to see more of the danger upcoming. So when we see more of when he was like pondering, like, dang, even though I let him go, like, is that it? Like,
Yeah, I
he
was.
self reflect. Pardon?
Yeah. Like, yeah, we were supposed. They did something with that one. I appreciated that until it was like, okay, that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just thinking, well, again, we're not gonna again we shouldn't get all of that all at once. And I agree that, I mean, some of us, let's be honest, we are kind of selfish when we want to go ahead and consume all this all at once, and we want to feel like,
hmm
oh, I got everything all at once.
Is
And
asking a couple of 87-year-olds to be hospitalized asking for everything all at
is
once?
that
I
too
don't
much?
understand.
Is that what
I
you
honestly
Is
thought
that
that
is
Hank
asking
Pym
for
was
a
gonna
couple of
die.
80-year-olds and some ants to be, just at least a little stressed out? You can't go to Maggiano's after running with Kang. What?
true?
I
I
don't
mean,
I don't appreciate that. I don't
we
think
don't
I'm asking for
have time
too much.
span
I don't
ever
appreciate that.
left from that, but I understand. But
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I respect it. You're right. Slow burn me, sure. Like I said, I've just tempered my expectations to think that this was a family vacation.
right, that
Um,
I like that I like how you you use that, which is good. That's good.
yeah, I think it was a family vacation. There's not a lot of mania here. This was really quantum meditation, quantum and chill, quantum relax. It was really just like everybody just kind of, had a good time, and we're a little,
I
yeah.
guess.
I mean, what is
It was. I think that ending was so corny, and
Thank you, Tez.
it's so frustrating
Thank you,
because
Tez.
like there's it's a difference in between a slow burn and
Yeah,
having no burn at all. There was no heat.
I'm
There was
talking about it. I'm talking. Tez, say that again. It was no heat.
no heat at all. No slow burn. No fat. No burn
This is
at
not a crock
all.
pot. Y'all
That
thought this
shit
was
is
crock pot. Y'all trying to say this is a crock pot film. The heat wasn't
ugh.
on. They didn't plug the crock pot in.
That
They
shit
just put
Hey,
stuff
it
in the
made me
crock
so.
pot.
Yeah, it.
I really did want to mention how
It,
how many times like
Go ahead. Did you are
Tez, go
home?
ahead.
Oh, okay. So, Twitter had a question. It was like, "Oh, which one is the best trilogy, or which one's the worst trilogy?"
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man, Thor, and like Ant Man. And I had to question: is Ant Man the worst trilogy of all time out of any movie,
It's
like
Thor
regardless
trilogy
of
is the
whoever
worst,
it
I would
is?
say.
The, Thor
Guardians literally
Ragnarok was
right
really
there.
good.
Like Guardians there, y'all. Like I don't understand.
Damn girl, can you let the third one come out before we enjoy?
It's
Come
still
on,
like I
kid.
looked at that trailer and I said, "Y'all go see the other
And
one."
I agree. And I agree. I kind of agree. I
Guardians
do.
3 is gonna slap a lot of us in the mouth. Let's just be honest.
Is
But go
it?
ahead.
I
I'm gonna watch it on Disney Plus. Let me know how it is.
I'm gonna have a good time. I will watch every Marvel film.
You goddamn right.
The-
Here's the thing, and but I'm not happy about that. The Dior home. I'm not happy. I
I'm
don't.
the
I'm not gonna watch it.
we're the junkies that like we've gotten to the
Yeah.
point that we know the heroin is hurting us, but like we do it anyway. Like we're
But
just
you
like
know,
just
one
give it
thing
to
though,
me.
it's I think one thing that's also interesting too with Marvel now is that like the TV shows are not honestly that bad because we get more like time.
Here's the
So
It's
like we
thing.
get
fleshing
like
out. Yeah.
I
we get a
want
lot of
y'all to
Yeah.
know.
episodes where we could really like get as much of the story out or really
I,
like dive deep
Yeah.
into the story,
no
get a good
matter
backstory
how
on
much,
characters.
no matter how much we beg people to be nerds, people are not gonna watch the shows on Disney Plus,
People be
and they
watching the
know that.
shows. People
They
be
be
and
watching.
they're
watching it, but
also trying to
not as
slow
much as the
down on the
film.
shows as well. So
Yeah. They said they're
That
about to start
because
spacing
it's
them
not
out.
even fair to say that you just gotta watch Loki. You know what else y'all forgot about? What if? What if also
Hell yeah.
gives us a lot of information about multiversal experiences with these characters.
And they're gonna get into that bag. Wait, imagine now that it's like relevant to the phase more or less. So
Exactly.
season two, they're probably gonna crack us over the head and give us something animation that transitions extremely directly to live action.
You
They
see what I'm
have to.
saying? I mean, I just, part of what we watch here, guys, welcome to what we watch. Thank you for joining Quantumania. I promise this movie it was fine if I just, I understand that it was a family vacation, right?
it's funny
Um,
because like the fact they managed to wrap this movie up within like 7 to 8 months, and considering the fact this Marvel, they usually be doing reshoots. They did none of that. They was
yeah.
just like
Telling
they was just
y'all,
like so
fiscal
I
year
confident.
end.
think somebody said that they might have did a reshoot of the ending. That the ending was a little bit more
So yeah,
darker. Bob
I seen
Iger said
yeah,
that
I
he
seen
didn't like the darkness of it, or like they did a test on like a a group of people and they thought it was too dark, so they made it a more lighthearted ending. So I
And
think it
hey,
was initially supposed to
that's
be darker.
that's cool. That's fine. Whether that's true or not, that's fine. You just gave me bars and fucking amazing set of films in phase 4. Like, I was committed. We're all committed. We're talking highest grossing film all time was in the last phase. Okay. So like, whether or not you want to transition to less darkness is fine. You're taking the risk that those of us that appreciated the journey of the darkness are looking at you a little crazy right now. Because where are the stakes? Make Ant-Man 3 then. Just make Ant-Man 3. Fine. If you want to have a good time, an easy, fun time, just make Ant-Man 3. Just make Ant-Man and the Wasp Vacation to the Quantum Realm. Just make that movie. It's fine. Throw Kang in there. Throw Kang in there in the post-credit scenes like you did the first time.
Yes,
And we
exactly.
just move on with our lives. Give me some
Exactly.
random villain. There's mad villains in Marvel. There's mad villains. Throw in
They
any
they wasted
couple of
Kang.
villains.
They
Yeah,
wasted
like
King. You got King,
I mean, they
like
wasted
King in that
Modoc.
movie was the
they wasted
Yes.
MODOK.
projects, man.
Let's
That
talk about
he
MODOK.
Okay,
did
let's
awesome.
not act like y'all was out here craving for Modoc. Y'all need to
Exactly. That's true
fucking
though.
relax.
That's
Not
true though. But
craving, not
Henry,
craving,
When I
but
say
a
Modoc
pleasure.
came on my screen, I wanted to immediately walk out the theater because that CGI looks so awful.
Henry, let's talk about MODOK.
Well, the
MODOK,
CG.
Modoc made my stomach hurt. In true
Henry.
honesty,
Hold on. I
Fair.
want to speak. I want to speak to Henry. Henry Corliss. What is your name? Corliss for Laren's wig. Okay, you get on my nerves. Henry, let's talk about MODOK for a second. MODOK is a killing machine made by who? Who made MODOK?
Kang.
Kang
King
the
Made Modoc.
Conqueror made a killing machine. Henry, can you tell me how many bodies MODOK got?
Oh God, but we're still having body count conversations in
Oh
2023.
I'm
no, but
gonna
hey,
have to
hey,
have a
he
body
he
count
was blasting
conversation.
dudes the first time he invaded. He was off screen. They were showing dudes just get vaporized, weren't they?
Off
No, I mean it though, weren't they though? When
off
he
screen.
before they kind of gave him, yeah, like you saw his purple beams when he came in. When those locals knew he was coming, but they didn't mention his name.
So catching local bodies.
Like you said, the indigenous the indigenous people.
Bro,
We
you
got
get
some.
on my nerves. I swear.
We killed some. None of you can name any of the indigenous quantum peoples that were. So we can't even say that they were killed, right? This is where like, okay, no darkness, right? I can't even say that they were killed. They were flung out. Maybe they left with some injuries, right? Maybe they can't return for the next 6 games. We're not really sure they died,
Okay,
guys.
I'm done with this panel question for the room. 100 emoji if you know how many holes you have. Quickly, everyone.
Here's
Quickly.
the thing. I know how many holes I have and who can use them. Yes, amen. Praise
Okay.
God.
All
Uh,
right.
Here's the thing. I watched a
Period.
2 hour movie. Thank you, Kim. I watched a 2 hour film and I got about 6, 7 good jokes. The best thing was the pink guy. They didn't even let him really cook. He could have had like 18 more jokes. I would have been in. That movie rating goes way up for me. That movie experience, like I said, I don't rate movies. That movie experience goes ways up for me. The whole situation was fun. I didn't love MODOK, but I still was like, we're going to have some fun here. We're going to have some fun because I don't know if you want me to believe he's a killing machine from the Mighty Kang or what. So I'm just going to I'm just going to go with you that he's just this funny, weird looking guy that you really didn't spend too much money on with the VFX. That's a whole nother situation. Um, and okay, cool. So we had some fun with MODOK and Michael, what is his name? Chide from Good Place. Michael.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever his name is, telepathy. We had some fun with him. I appreciated those little fun jokes. I appreciated the holes guy, whatever his name is. I don't respect that they didn't give us his name. What's his name? I don't like that. One of your best, most comedic relief characters in the film, and we never got his name. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
There's a YouTube reviewer that I fuck with. He kind of annoying, but I respect his perspective. And
Yeah.
he pointed out how in the first two movies, the comic relief was like Scott Lang's crew, you know what I
Right.
mean, and nobody else. And then it felt like this movie they were trying to give everybody their like comedic shot, and it was just like spread too thin. And so like
Yeah.
we knew Michael Pena was coming with the fuck. Michael Pena, remember when he was doing those recollection stories? We all
Yep.
fucking loved them, dog. We all
Yes.
were in tears. Every time he opened his mouth to talk and you saw him take a long-winded breath, we knew we were about to get it.
Right.
Even the other foreign cat that was in that, same thing.
Right.
I don't understand how in this they were just like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Everybody's gonna be funny. Even the
Yeah. Yeah.
87-year-old
Yeah.
dude.
That's narratively lazy. Don't do that.
Very
We
lazy.
we're not we like I said, make Ant-Man 3 or Kang 1, and they said let's put it together, and they messed up on both ends. They kind of disrespected Ant-Man movies low key. Not saying that Ant-Man movies are the best to ever have, but like there's an expectation for Ant-Man movies, and we kind of go in knowing that it's not going to be an Iron Man or Thor or Captain America film. We understand that. We fully understand what to expect going into every Ant-Man movie. And then they said, well, what if Ant-Man met Kang? And you know what the answer to that question is? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing happens. Don't matter. Don't matter if Ant-Man meets Kang. Nothing. It doesn't matter. Ant-Man's gonna meet Kang. Who cares? He's gonna go home and have some pasta with his family in a privileged white situation.
But I was, you know how we were all talking about how the first like two Ant-Man movies are very low stakes movies, and so I'm also wondering how did we all of a sudden kind of attach a high stakes to the third Ant-Man movie where the previous ones have
What do you
been?
mean all of a sudden? We met Mighty Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah, I know, but then I think also with the like pattern of that has been low stakes. I guess I mean I obviously attached
Yeah,
like this is gonna be
we
a big
definitely got
movie,
swindled.
Kang the Conqueror. But when I left it, I was like, wow, this was a low stakes movie.
No, yeah, they
Like
got our
all
asses.
other Ant-Man movies, and
Yeah, they got
I
our
feel
asses. They
yeah, they
did.
got us.
I
But then I'm
I
like,
admit
damn,
it.
if I knew that it was like a fake Kang the Conqueror and they're like not like one of the it wasn't
And I'm
the
telling
Mortis
y'all,
in blackface, it's a lower stakes Kang the Conqueror, I probably would have watched that shit on Disney Plus.
and I don't believe that either. I don't believe that theory either. I don't believe that theory. I don't like that theory because if that's the theory and that makes sense, then why give him all those bars? That's disrespectful. Why give him all those bars? He had mad bars. Y'all are y'all clear? This a part of a responsibility of a villain too is smooth plot. Villains get bars. They get their bars off. That's why I love Ebony Maw. To this day, no
Mm-hmm.
one was talking that shit like Ebony Maw.
The nigga that
Oh
got
my
killed by a
god.
pop culture reference, that Ebony
And
Maw.
yes,
True.
but
Uh
here's the
huh.
thing. He was getting his bars off, and we knew he wasn't the big bad. Thanos got his bars off. Really, Thanos was written after me, but that's a whole nother story, guys. When he looked at her and said, you know, what do you say? Who are you? What do you say to her? What do you say to Wanda?
He said, "I don't even know who you are."
I don't know who you are. Okay, that's my bars. But
Good grief.
Ebony Maw got his bars off. Yes, he got clapped by one of the most powerful Avengers. Fine, you know. I mean, we respect the fuck out of the person. And Ebony Maw really just got flung off screen too, low key. He didn't really like die in front of us. He got flung off. Maybe his body is preserved, Henry. You're being disrespectful. In the Frozen universe. Maybe his body's preserved in that ice. Think you know. No, we know what we understand. But he wasn't even the big bad. But you see how the minion or the fucking right hand man of the big bad even had niggas in hell. Kang, if this Kang is a quote unquote right man of the other Kangs or a weaker version of the other Kangs, he should still have motherfuckers kind of shook.
I thought He
How?
Who Remains was the weaker version of this king.
But this is like only one
Child,
step above. It's apparently like the Immortus, the
you see,
Fair
you see
Ramatai,
what happens
and the
when you
other ones
call.
were supposed to be the stronger kings. They're
Do
the
you
ones
see
who are
what
at the
happens?
council.
You see what happens when you tell me that a stadium of 90,000 Kangs is supposed to have me more shook? What are the levels of power here? If one is slightly
No,
more,
I
I'm
assume
not
that the
really.
people in the stadium are like still lower level kangs.
I'm not scared of
I was
none.
thinking the bad ones were the
90,000 Kang.
three that we're talking.
90,000 Kangs in a stadium, I'm gonna get 200,000 ants. I'm good. I don't care.
The first king got stabbed by a white chick. The second king got beat
Got
up by
sucked
a white
into his.
hand to hand combat by a white dude and then shot the chick.
And
Like
none of
these,
you in this room can tell me that that's respectful. That's not respectful. I don't want a lot. I want somebody to be even fake hospitalized, go to therapy, have a broken limb. You mean to tell me they had a run in with any version, any variant of Kang the Conqueror, and went back home and ate pasta on a fake birthday?
I was
they
That's
honestly
it,
crazy.
expecting
it
Hank
was all
Pym
a
to die
dream,
in this movie.
and I hate that shit.
You what'd you say, brown skin boy?
I said I honestly thought Hank Pym or
Thank you.
well, he was going to die in the movie.
And you
That's
Man,
what I
love
we
the
thought.
all
movie.
thought one person would
Why,
die.
why, why, Michelle Pfeiffer, thank you so much for everything you've done. I think you've done a great job. I think narratively, as far as the MCU goes, in order to preserve the love that we have for Kang and the fear, I think it's okay if you get hospitalized and or kind of get taken out of here. Hank, I think you've done a great job. Thank you so much for all the love. As an actor, I hope you continue to flourish. I think narratively, to preserve, what we're supposed to be shook about over the next 5 years for phase 5, I think it's okay that Kang takes you out. We need to be shook by our villains. None of you in here can tell me that you're anticipatory shook. You're preemptively shook by something. We've seen 2 Kangs get mopped up. Why are you scared of Kang? Why?
And
Why?
we aren't scared of Kang, and we
We
know
aren't.
he more than likely is not gonna appear in the next what 2 3 movies. He's not the he may pop up in Guardians of the
Didn't
Galaxy 3.
Eternals, and that may be a whole other thing, and we'll wrap this up here, guys, in about
Hmm.
15 minutes. So get your bars off. Those of you in the audience, come on up. Feel free. This is not we're not shitting on the movie per se. That like it was not a fun experience. I can't stress this enough. I had a good time watching the film. I really did. It wasn't until I sat with it a few days later, I was like, actually, no. Mm-mm. I don't know. You gotta let Kane cook. I don't like that. Everybody went home to eat pasta and an ugly birthday cake on a fake birthday. That don't feel white privilege to y'all? Y'all are okay with that? I'm not okay with it.
During Black History Month?
During Black
I think
History
I
Month.
think it's
Oh
I think it's
hell no!
also
Against the
stupid
black villain.
because as I now realize
I don't
when
like that.
King told Scott to go and get the power core and then like was trying to convince him he can start his life over again. Did we not learn from Endgame not to mess with the timeline?
Child.
Well, we also know these heroes don't learn their lessons the first time. So that
Peter obviously has not learned his lesson.
Heroes fuck with time all the time. We're literally getting a Flash movie with the
Crazy.
Can
same
Um,
shit.
someone can someone tell me, and I already have a potential answer to my own question, but I want y'all, maybe you have or have not addressed this idea. Kang could and make sure as I ask this question that we all agree, because if we disagree, then stop me. Maybe I missed something. Kang had the quantum realm shook, correct?
mm-hmm.
Right?
Right,
Hmm.
right.
Right? He had him shook.
Yes.
Janet went back down, and she was shook. Right? Okay. He had a lot of ships where like we're following, because remember the 2 families got spread apart, right? They got split up. Excuse me. So the other 2, Kang looking for you, right? Kang is looking for you. I'm telling you, Kang knows where you are. Be careful. Don't come over here, right? The indigenous peoples were shook because like those 2 people that were looking for him, were looking for Janet, like we're in their space, right? We agree so far? That's what the movie told us, right?
Right.
Okay. Kang got the quantum realm on lock. Why wasn't Kang alerted to these ships that scan everything, to billions of ants advancing technology in short amount of days?
so I had
Why
the same. But oh,
why wasn't Kang alerted to that? But he's able to find 2 people that landed. Mind you, those ants landed with the family, guys. So why was he not alerted to those people? I don't understand. And I have a couple of theories that I would maybe let slide. But again, narratively, that doesn't make sense. He was able to find Janet, but not an army of billions of ants? Nobody could even clue him in to maybe semi prepare for that? Intergalactic genius, I don't care what variant he is, intergalactic genius, mighty Kang, thousands of years ahead technology, has celestial beings shook. He couldn't be alerted to billions of ants advancing on his grounds. He had the whole quantum. I don't.
Well,
It
I
don't make no
mean,
sense.
usually they have these couple of dumb moments, just
Mm.
like when Valkyrie was tasing Thor. Don't know how that even existed.
It's so fucking
So
So,
weird.
so so 2 hour lunch break. You've been fairly quiet. Could you answer that question for me? I'm confused.
so I had the same question you had after my first watch, and after my second watch, I noticed they gave us a single line of dialogue
Yes.
that said, as they were all being sucked into the quantum realm from the lab where Cassie was recklessly shooting you up
Okay.
text into the quantum realm, that they got sucked into a pocket portion of the quantum world where they were able to advance, you
Okay.
know, it in relative
Okay.
isolation, and then they kind of just like, you know, ants
Okay.
ex machina their way back into the plot. That's what happened there.
Okay. So they were sucked in with the family, but they went to a secret pocket of the quantum realm.
Yeah, I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
but they were sucked into a secret pocket. So let me follow you. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. Thank you for because I didn't catch that. So they were sucked into a secret, unbeknownst pocket. The family ended up in a very visible pocket because immediately when they landed, those ships, were searching for stuff. Then the ants advanced many, many thousands of years in a couple of days, right? A day or so. And then somehow on the journey up to wherever Kang was in the quantum realm, they also were not spotted. Okay, got it. Henry, please.
Me or the Corliss?
Yes, you're you. Yeah.
All right, cool, awesome. Yes, basically what he was basically saying, like not all the ants landed where they were at. They were at another spot, and
Hmm.
so more or less, again, you have to also factor in that time isn't the same as it is like where we are towards the quantum realm. So of course,
Hmm.
that obviously was able to aid their advancement and so on and so forth. So then they could be able to do what they did towards the end in the third act of the movie.
Kang has ships that see all the grounds. So much so that Janet was so shook. So at no point, maybe even when the ants exited this teeny tiny pocket, did any of those ships see an unusual amount of ants in any form, knowing that these ants are very different from the other ants. And I know that they're very different from any other ants that may possibly be in the quantum realm, because these ants were special ants that advanced thousands of years. So none of the ships found him. It's just a lapse in security. Okay.
Perhaps they were more secure or more busy with Scott and all of them, maybe, and
Here's
then
my Got it.
indigenous people, right?
Where
Maybe.
were the other ships when they were busy with Kang? I didn't see no surveillance ships.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
I'm talking about what I'm saying is that if we weren't able to see the, I guess, the ants from the other pocket wherever they were at, I'm
Yeah,
saying that like with later on in the film where more of the fighting was happening, I
yeah.
guess, you know
They
that
just like yeah. Okay.
I'm just trying to
But
make
us,
of what, in my view,
Oh,
what
I agree. I
just
understand. I
trying.
understand what you're saying. My theory was that.
but
Go
also
ahead, bro.
Hank Pym knew like the ants were there because he had like the mic in his ear.
Correct that too.
But he didn't realize it until later.
Correct.
That was fine. I'm sure, no
Hmm.
no issues there. So my understanding that would only make that part make sense, which to me was just irresponsible because you found Janet or you found Cassie and all of them easily, maybe because they caused a ruckus, but like I don't know, billions of ants. I don't know, guys. Like I don't know how many ants we're supposed to assume were in there. Maybe it wasn't billions, maybe it was like hundreds, but I don't know. Like a foreign group of ants might trigger some surveillance issues. I don't know. If let's say I'm king, that's how I would feel personally. That's a I'm talking to my security. I'm getting a new security contract ASAP. Because how did you not see this army of ants? You know what I mean? Like, okay. Um, my idea was that the ants technology was so advanced that they were able to not be surveilled.
There
That's the
we
only
go.
way I could,
Now you're cooking. There you go. Now you're cooking. There you go.
because they couldn't wait to tell us that these ants advanced 1,000 years
A millennium.
in one day. So I'm like, oh, they have, how you have like, UAVs, like they don't have no sensors, like no surveillance tech could detect those ants. Had to be that. Cause ain't no way that Kang the Kingpin, conquer mighty Kang, I run the quantum realm, didn't know that there was an infestation of ants in his universe. I just don't understand that.
Sometimes you
Well,
have to cook.
yeah. So it's just some things that really just felt like they didn't really let Kang do his thing, and I did. It's clear that I'm like a villain lover, right? I think we all know in this room by now. If you watched what we watch and participated in any of our conversations, we started off in Clubhouse, and I had literally a series of villain apologist rooms. No one has had more of an amazing time online than in my villain apologist rooms, right? We have a great time. But like, because I'm obviously very attached to the success of a villain, and that doesn't mean that he needs to kill all the protagonists. The success of a villain, he or she or they, is to me narratively moving the plot forward, having us properly shook based on the words and their quotes and their dialogue, and you know the harm that they're able to cause, and the mental, whether it's mental, right? Because again, sometimes they get sent to therapy. Sometimes they just get hospitalized. Like, you ain't even got to catch bodies. Let's get some maiming going on. Let's get some sort of like, oh shit. If I don't know, guys, Corliss Wig, I meet two bitch ass versions of you. I'm not gonna be afraid of the third version. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna like be like, oh well, you know what, Monique, the third one finna come in and be wild. I'll be like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll just wait and see. Because at this point, um, I'm not really convinced. Go ahead, Angela Liz. Welcome to the stage.
Hey. So I enjoyed the movie. I hated all the women in the movie. Actually, specifically the white women.
You
But I
could tell,
enjoyed the
right?
movie.
You spitting
No, like Cassie, come on, girl. Like that, she was just
facts,
annoying the whole movie. But I
facts.
will say one thing that's like really been bugging me is in Endgame when Scott got out of the quantum realm, he was like, "No, it felt like I was in there for 5 minutes when he was there for 5 years." But Catwoman was like, you don't know how long 30 years was. I was in here for 30 years. And I was like, well, I don't understand. Because if you were in there for 30 years, didn't it feel like a day?
Mm,
That's the part that like it's
mm-hmm.
been a week now, and that's the part that's
Mm,
still like frustrating me.
mm-hmm. You see, I'm telling you guys, it's the narrative. I keep saying narrative. I'm gonna make y'all sick of that word. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I don't understand. It's a lot of laziness. Mess, welcome to the stage, and then 2 hour lunch break. You got it. Mess, go ahead.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
So I kind of like the movie. Um,
Yeah,
I
it was
saw,
fun.
yeah, I saw it for what it was. It's a vehicle to move the bigger picture forward, and
How did it move the big picture forward?
because it actually gave us the parameters of Kang, right? So I mean,
It
you
gave
guys
us
started the
what
parameters of
became the
so Kang
parameters became. Okay.
so Kang's power comes from his time machine, right?
Okay.
And the reason his power comes from his time machine, and again, I haven't been here. You guys been talk about this, but he's able to go forward and back, go through the timeline,
Mm,
learn his mistakes, and
right.
learn what's happening, and then he's
Correct.
always a step ahead. But he's been
Correct.
stuck in the quantum realm for God knows how long, so
Okay.
he has no knowledge of anything
Okay.
beyond what he's built, right?
Okay.
So this shows us, okay, his time machine is where his power is, right? Well, if we go back to He Who Remains, he let himself get killed, right? He knew what was going to
Mm,
happen, right? And so he let that happen. So when we talk about like the
mm,
power, he allowed, like that's real power. It's like, yo, I know you want to kill me. I see everything going forward. Even though he said, "Oh, I can't see this point now," I'm sure he
mm-hmm,
could,
mm-hmm,
and he let her kill, right? So now
mm,
we see all these, and then at the end you see all the different. There's so many different Kangs, but there's only a few that have real power because they use the timeline. They use the timeline, go back and forth, and they go for it. So when Kang
mm,
said, "Yo, I've killed the Avengers 1,000 times. This shit bores me." Think about that. Like if you was playing somebody in that and you
mm-hmm,
beat them so many times, you'd be like, whatever. Like he
mm,
wasn't. That's why I feel like he came across as like this guy is the man. But when you look at the details of like what he did, when you look at the army he created, when you look at the things, the empire that was amassed, and you're like, yo, he's been down here building, and if this shit
He's
gets
been
out,
building, but I mean, his stormtroopers didn't do nothing, and neither did MODOK. Neither
yeah,
did
but
his
no,
green chain.
yeah,
He
but
didn't do
no
nothing.
stormtrooper does, but no
He
stormtrooper
didn't.
does anything.
He didn't do nothing. I mean, mess. I appreciate that because that is about the best. Like, I don't have any rebuttal outside of what I just told you. I appreciate that because that's my point, guys. This is Ant-Man and the Wasp, sorta Lang Family Vacation. And I think that guy is a reasonable guy. I don't think there's any mania here. I think this Kang that we met is a reasonable Kang. Like you said, Mesh, you just admitted he's a reasonable guy. He's like, honestly, whatever. It's pretty reasonable. So it's not giving mania. It's not giving Quantumania. I don't see anybody really stressed. The most stressful part of that film was my guy finding out that maybe, for the 30 years she was gone, she was having sex with Bill Murray, and he kind of handled that really, again, there was no mania there. He was pretty sane in response to that. He had a good time there. He was like, you know what? I understand you have needs. I have needs too. A very reasonable guy. I think everyone in this movie was very reasonable, except for Janet. I don't think she was reasonable at all. I think everyone in this film was very reasonable, very, normal, you know, dudes just being guys. People just having a good time. I think that's what this movie was. People were just having a good time. Corliss, go ahead.
Can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
So the one thing that I noticed though is that if you look at his ships, they look very, very, very similar to the Wakanda ships.
Yeah.
And so
They
they're
did.
so it's like,
Why
where did he get the design?
It's black
Right?
engineering, baby.
Period.
But where,
Okay. Black men
I
in
get
tech.
that, but now is there another connection between Wakanda and Kang, right? And then also,
I mean,
Telecom, right?
I would assume
Because
so, but that just pisses me off more, right?
but how can you assume, right? But that also makes you think like, yo, all right, so it has to, because it's
Are
exactly the
you
same ship.
giving this movie the makes you think stamp?
I'm giving this movie this was the we're gonna layer, we're gonna plant the seeds, and as we build towards Avengers Kang Dynasty, you're gonna see how this blooms. And you're gonna
Plant the
come back to this.
seeds. Plant
You're
the
gonna come
seeds. Stories work in television episodes, not in entire standalone films.
but this is not standalone. And this, it has
This is.
worked.
This movie came out by itself. This is a movie. This is a movie
Yes,
that
but yes,
if I liked it enough, I would go watch it again, regardless of what happened in the next few
I
films, or regardless of what happened
yes,
before.
I agree with you. Yes, like I went with one of my friends. She never saw any of the Ant-Man movies. She liked it.
Exactly.
Totally
These
good.
movies should
But
stand alone.
the service to people who have watched the MCU, there are seeds planted for the future, as they planted seeds in the previous movies
Yeah,
for what's going
because
forward. So,
it's looking like Shang-Chi and maybe Miss Marvel has some type of connections. Because it's like kind of funny how Kang's like rings in his time travel is similar to like Shang-Chi's rings,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
and I
then
think
like
say,
eternal symbols is on the rings too. So
and also Doctor Strange's symbols that you see for the different house, the different power cells
Mm-hmm.
around the world. So there's a
This
lot of
movie
connectivity going.
planted seeds and made you think. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Henry, Corliss. Okay.
Planting seeds, not so make me think, but really kind of the potential of what they setting up with in regards to, like, yeah, obviously the Avengers are going to beef with them, but the inner beef, like the dissension that they're teasing in amongst the Kangs, is probably what intrigues me the most about
I agree.
what they might be doing going forward. I mean, there is a version of Kang that literally, I guess he went by Iron Lad, I think it was. But yeah, joined the Young Avengers to beef with another version of himself. So, that's
I mean,
another aspect I'm looking forward to as well.
they set that up pretty well, right? Like the
but I
idea
question
here
that.
the idea here is that Kangs are fighting themselves. And that's like, motherfucking crazy. Like these motherfuckers crazy as hell fighting themselves and fighting various versions, variants of themselves. And, if a lot of them come together, we should be shook. Again, I I hear that. I think that's great. I'm excited. Why in Ant-Man 3 Kang 1 did you present to me a weak ass Kang that was just,
I mean, if you
there?
don't present him in this movie, where do you slot him in? Would be
I
my
mean,
question.
Thanos was presented in a post-credit scene.
I
I
wouldn't have been
mean,
mad
I,
if they held back to Loki too. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say he was weak. It's just Marvel has this thing about depowering characters.
Hmm. Here's the thing. What it sounds like is you shook, and that because I'm supposed to be attached to the rest of the Kangs and Kang's gonna turn up, you're shook to show me this Kang turning up. Why can't this Kang turn up and the other Kangs turn up more? I don't understand that. Why do this Kang don't get to turn up and then we have to wait for other ones to turn up? Why can't this one turn up and then the other ones turn up more? I don't understand.
I mean, we've seen like seven variants in this 2 hour movie. It's like you're not gonna get, what I'm
Seven
saying,
variants of
fleshed
what?
out arcs with one variant. There's just too many of this nigga to do that.
What do you mean? We got 7 variants of this in one movie. What do you mean?
Just visually, what we saw at
Yeah,
the
like
end.
visually, like you've literally seen like so many different versions. Like I'm not gonna be mad if we don't get a
Wait, wait, wait,
fleshed
wait, wait,
out
wait, wait, wait,
arc
wait, wait, wait.
with just
We
one
didn't,
variant.
we didn't, we didn't get multiple kings in the film.
Yeah, he means by the end, that scene at the end with the council and
Yeah,
shit.
between
That's a
the
that's
post
a
credit
that's a
scenes,
That
post
the
was
credit
second
scene.
like
one. Yeah,
that was
you've seen
like
like 7
dozens.
versions already.
That's a post credit scene. No, we saw like 90,000 versions of him in the stadium.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a post credit scene. That's not in the film.
I mean, my main point is like I'm not mad that we didn't get like a fully fleshed out arc with this one king that we got.
No, 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 no. That's incorrect. We did get a fully fleshed out arc. We saw a full story of King.
I agree with Mo, but I also do contend that like the one bright spot in this, regardless of how we felt about the movie, I think the cool shit as far as like Jonathan Majors himself is he's just gonna continuously get to play essentially a different character with each Kang. So
That's
I
exactly.
knew when this one ended, I was like, okay, weak ass bitch. So they're gonna slowly ramp up to just like, the next one we see might be the completely unhinged one. You know what I mean? Missing a fucking eyeball and with a scar. And then the
I
one
hope
after
so.
that might be the more pragmatic one, who's more
I
like
hope so.
Thanos. I
I
mean,
hope so.
yeah, I think
I
we,
hope so.
I think that's why like Disney low key, like they're kind of like laughing at fans because they know deep down that that's what they're gonna give us. That they picked
You're gonna.
Majors specifically because they know he can get into a
He got the
different bag.
range,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so they want me to feel like this King wasn't about nothing because he wasn't, and it's gonna make the other Kings hit even harder, which
And
is
they're gonna clown that one. They're gonna be like, "You think we're the quantum realm one? Like, fuck no!" And just start murdering dudes.
yes, yes, yes. And I hope so. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I hope so. Because I don't know what we saw here, but I think because we are, like you said, we are the Marvel stands that we are, we're always going to say, oh, yeah, the next one they're gonna really turn up. And I don't want us to get too comfortable with saying that the next one is going to turn up. I I think they should all turn up in their own unique and powerful ways. Every film should do that. I don't because this franchise makes billions off us watching it no matter what. We sit up here and we talk about these films as crutches for the ones to come, and I don't think that's even fair.
And
I
you
don't
brought
think
up a
that's
good point, Mo,
It's
where you
and then it's
mentioned 2025. Kang Dynasty, there's like vague
right.
dates, but Kang Dynasty is like summer 2025. And we
Yeah.
saw Kang, what was that, late 2020, early 2021
Yep.
in
Early
Loki?
2021,
Yeah.
2020. Yeah. Late
And
2021, early 2022, something around there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now here we are, you know,
2023
hmm
with an
2023
with
getting into
another
March. We saw weak ass bitch. He's not gonna be
weak ass
more
bitch
likely.
2.0. Yep.
Right, and he's not going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He probably isn't going to be in the Marvels, because they got their own shit to contend with. So we're probably going to see him again, sometime early mid
it's
2024.
rumored it's rumored that he's appearing in Shang-Chi. It's
Oh,
rumor
I
going
also
around.
read today that he's rumored to appear in Agatha Harkness, the worst fucking idea Disney has had in the last 5 years.
I like Agatha, but
I
I don't,
love her, but not as like
yeah,
its own
I
like
don't know I don't know
standalone.
Yeah.
how it's gonna go, but I love her as a character, so I'm like attached to it. I want to welcome Panic to the stage. Hey, boo. What you got to
Hey,
say? How did you feel about the film? And I sound like I'm shitting on this movie. I'm really just not narratively invested in what they presented Kang to be. I think it was a fine movie as a Lang family vacation. I think we had a good time. I laughed a little bit. I was engaged the entire film. I thought some of the things were weird. And then, a week later I was pissed. That's
It,
all.
it was a rom
so
com.
I mean, I was disappointed. I have to be honest
Okay,
because
but
I
you
mean,
were.
I wanted to come like I came to the movie like really to just see Kang fuck shit up. Kind of
Yeah.
just the same reason why I went to see Doctor Strange. I wanted to see Wanda fuck shit up, which she did. But with
Exactly.
with this movie, like it kind of was a letdown. And then the other thing that
And
I
don't
think
let
was
anybody in this room tell you that you're wrong for wanting Kang to fuck shit up, because that's what they was telling us in the beginning of this room. I just want you to know.
I
Y'all was
mean that's
telling
what I was expecting. I'm sorry.
this
Yeah.
kind man that just walked in here just said, you know what? I hope that the presentation of this person in the phase of Marvel Cinematic Universes, I hope he gets to fuck some shit up. That's a genuine, kind, lovely, normal expectation, sir. I want you to know that is. Don't let anybody think that, oh, he had to catch bodies. Well, yeah, I think so. I think
I
he
mean,
should. Why
and to his point about Wanda, we just knew
We
Wanda
have
was the
seen
big
it.
bad. We didn't know she was gonna be literally torching fucking corpses and shit. And she,
Yeah.
Right.
And
like,
she low
my
key just
god,
shook. And I'm glad you presented that in the way you did, because I didn't even say all that. But I agree with you. I think you're allowed to go into a film and expect the big bad that's presented to be a little bit big and a little bit bad. I think that's fair.
he was just rude and naughty, a
He
little
was
naughty.
just a chatty patty with some feelings. And whom's among us, guys? Really, I'm telling you, I'm gonna sit down and have some tea with King. I think he's a great guy. I think he just is slightly misguided, and he was racially profiled.
He'll come around.
Yeah, he'll come around. He's a good guy.
I
Isn't
think
it?
Go ahead, though, Sam. Finish.
no, I mean, I guess my last point was just going to be I think the only other thing that I didn't like was I'm still failing to see the connection between like all the new movies in this phase, like, especially like, how the Eternals ended and with Doctor Strange, I was kind of
Mm.
hoping to kind of maybe see a connection with all these other characters that they've been, throwing in at the end credits, but right now like it's still kind of a big question mark for me, but I don't know if you guys have talked about that. So
No, we definitely have. Mess had some good points about there was seeds planted. Mess, I'm not. I'm fucking with you, but I'm not. I'm doing both at the same time. You know, it's not a safe space. Mess had some good points that there were seeds planted, right? But I like that you brought up that there weren't seeds planted in relation to films we've already seen, which is easy as fuck to do and gets us committed too. Maybe don't commit us to unforeseen things. Maybe commit us to things we've already seen and really lean on that. And that's a good narrative decision. Don't let me think about, oh, well, maybe he's about related to Wakanda. Maybe he's related to, some of the Eternal stuff. Like, we kind of already know that maybe Kang is a fucking almighty guy in general everywhere. We already know that. Tie it into some things we've already seen. I
Have
know you did that for Loki. Definitely did
haven't
that for
you like
Loki. Go ahead.
noticed like in the Council of Kang scene where when they all teleported, they used the same technology that Reed Richards did in Multiverse of Madness?
Yep. That's a post credit scene, though. You know how I feel about the post credit scene, right?
Yeah.
That's not the
It's a
film.
lot of
This.
revisionist history in here about Wanda fucking shit up, but I'm gonna let y'all cook.
Okay, hold on now.
I'm gonna let y'all cook though. A lot of revisionist history going on.
Hold on now. Hold on now. Who cooked more, Wanda or Kang? Quickly.
definitely Wanda.
Wanda
Wanda.
That's
fucked it
not a
up, and
question.
y'all still find a way to be mad about that. But I'm gonna let y'all cook.
She
I
was
wasn't
she
mad
was
at
cooking at first, but then at the end she was still prepping
that.
because you cannot tell me that Doctor Strange could not have gotten the Book of Ashanti and used that as an advantage to see the two magic users go at it. I'm sorry. No,
Here's the
thank you.
thing. I know y'all are shook because I enjoyed Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder. And there are no people in this room, I think, that enjoyed those two films and did not enjoy this one. You either did not enjoy two and loved one. And I understand that. But I enjoyed both Thor Love and Thunder and Multiverse of Madness.
I did as well.
And this one I enjoyed while I was watching too. So I really kind of I enjoyed all of them while I watched them. The other two did not make me pissed over the next 5 to 7 business days. This one did. This one did. There was a responsibility here. Sam, I want to celebrate you and defend you. I think it's okay to go into a movie expecting a motherfucker to fuck some shit up. I think that was a fair expectation that all writers and producers and actors and executives a part of that movie should have considered. Some of us wanted to see some crazy shit. And they said, no, 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 no. You're going to wait. You're going to wait till 2025. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. Go ahead, Angela. And Tej, welcome to the stage.
I just want to say that maybe, just maybe, Paul Rudd might be racist, and just bear with me here.
I think Jan's racist too. Let's talk
Go
about
on.
Because they're like white people who build their wealth in the Bay Area are most likely racist. So the
you
Janet
spit.
and Hank being racist makes a lot of sense.
Spit. Spit.
But okay, so he beats Falcon, right? Like he beats Falcon with like barely no training, like getting into the Avengers thing. Like that was some bullshit. Even though we don't like Falcon, we
The
can admit
future,
that
but
was some
he's the future
bullshit.
Cap. Got cleaned up, got
That's
clapped
not
by
my
Ant Man.
cap. I'm gonna be out there with white
He's the
people.
future Cap. He's not
That's not
our
my
future
cap.
Cap.
I'm
He's
not
the
calling
future Cap.
I'm
Yeah,
not calling him
okay.
Captain Nothing.
Yeah.
And then
That's what they
so he's
decided.
able to beat Falcon, like a decorated military veteran, a guy who hangs out with the Captain America just off the rip at the Avengers facility, right? And then we see this movie, he's able to beat the black man as well. How do we know
Mm.
Paul Rudd don't have a clause in his contract to not lose to black people? Because
Angela, I think you asked the
these
right
don't make
question.
this doesn't make sense. And who was
Angela, you asking the right questions.
and
The,
then
the pounder nigga clause. I've
didn't
heard of it.
the second movie, the second Ant-Man, wasn't the villain a black woman?
Okay, we're getting somewhere. There's meat on this bone.
Listen, I'm just saying.
This
Paul
dog
Rudd
hungry.
might be
Angela,
racist.
Angela, let me tell you, I told y'all, find my tweet, type in racially profiled. I've only said this once on the internet. Kang was racially profiled. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Where there's smoke, there's
They
racism.
went into his country,
Yo,
invaded it, killed him, and left and went to Maggiano's, bro.
bro, whole 3 generations. Right now, just so you know, right now, the chances of you, according to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the chances of you and 2 generations of your family running into Kang and surviving is 100%. You will survive that. You run into Kang right now today with your grandparents and your grandchildren, and you will be just fine. You'll be fine.
Unless you're one of those underdeveloped locals from the quantum realm, those poor people that were just trying to get by.
I honestly think that's problematic too. Right? Why did we let the black man, you know, do that to people? I think that's poor media as well. Don't let the black man do that. He should have eaten up the Lang family
I
or
take
a
that back.
portion
I
of
just
it.
sounded like Tucker Carlson. I take that back.
I think we're getting somewhere. Tej, welcome to the stage. Go ahead.
T's about to get some bars off. He had about
You might
7
be on a
hours
call.
cooked
Usually when people can't talk, sit down on the
yesterday.
phone or something.
Tej,
Hold on, I
Okay,
gotta
here we
go
go.
back inside first. Give me some time.
let me tell you something. We've had many a conversation, and I'm not trying to. I know it's like, Monique, you just spent an hour and a half letting people know the faults of this film, and I get it. I think it's important. I think we're talking about the movie, right? Like, this is a space. Welcome to What We Watch, WhatWeWatch.net. This is the first time I have really like been hesitant to host a space about a film because I was like, I enjoyed it and I have a lot of problems with it. And I think because I don't exist in the binary, and I think we all need to be more comfortable with spectrums and nuances, I think we could all just encourage all that type of stuff in our lives. This is not a good or bad film to me. I think it was a movie that I enjoyed while I watched it, and then I got really fucking pissed off. Like, after I thought about it for even a couple minutes, it took a couple of minutes for me to think, and I was like, actually, I had a good time, but why did I have a good time? Because there were some good jokes, there was phenomenal acting, right? Um, some people had fun, and I
You
think
got the
that
black muscle man that you all seem to love.
absolutely a beautiful man that did a great job. We got some good jokes, guys. Ant-Man, Sam, my second expectation after wanting Kang to go off, my second expectation was for this film to be, fun and funny. And I think 75% of it was, fun and funny until I started to think about it after I walked out. And I was like, wait a minute. No, you don't get to do this. You don't get to treat Kang like this. This is not fair. This is dishonest. You
Let me
need to
pose
Yes.
this
tell.
question though: do you think that this is just Marvel, Disney, the machine,
Yeah.
the entity,
Yes.
just trying to broaden everything out more? Like they look at their numbers, they're like, okay, we're not hitting these demographics. We can't have the movie like somebody
It
said,
has
like
to be. I
the
know
ending
they're not.
having
I
be yeah.
think
They're like, how do we
I
broaden this? No,
I
too dark.
know they're not
Yeah,
writing this for the 36-year-olds in the room
right.
because when are y'all gonna watch this movie again? Don't lie. I don't care how much you liked it. When are y'all gonna watch this movie again? For what?
if
Disney
I
Plus
do,
while
if
I'm
y'all ain't
sick.
gonna watch it all the way
Never.
through.
Next
Why
time
would
I
you
got
watch this movie
COVID
again?
on the couch.
But I think that Marvel is way too comfortable in their position right now that they are like
Exactly.
the king of the box office and they
Exactly.
don't have the competition. Because
This
if DC was
correct.
ahead right now,
Hello?
Marvel will be pumping out movies like it's nothing.
But they would be good. They would be great movies, right?
Like, hey,
Here's the
Yes,
other thing.
they would.
And here's the other thing.
everybody talks about Rotten Tomatoes, but I like Rotten Tomatoes because it's a consensus. You know what I mean? It just gives you a broad consensus. I take it with a grain of
It
salt and I go
depends on
from there.
Rotten Tomatoes.
But it's like I'm trying to understand how
Only
this movie.
one.
This is what their second quote unquote second lowest rated movie, and I mean it did what 280 mil worldwide the first weekend. Like
Facts.
again, they don't give a fuck. They
Well,
give us what they give us.
it's
What
now sitting at the same score with the Eternals.
I'm telling you, yeah, it's the worst, tied for the worst rated film. And here's the thing: I don't care about rating. I just told y'all that I'm gonna adhere to that. I don't care about ratings in the sense that like the only thing I care about Rotten Tomatoes that intrigues me is one type of consensus, and it's when the critics rating is higher than the audience rating. That's when I'm like, ooh, I gotta watch this film. And I think that Marvel is complacent. To your point, Brown Skin Boy, I'm gonna name it. It's complacency, and
Mhm.
yeah, I'm okay with thinking that maybe this film wasn't bad. I think it was fun. Like I said, I had a great time watching it. I think Jonathan Majors was great. I think Paul. Honestly, racist as he may be, Angela, great points. I think Paul Rudd.
Actually, I'm sorry. I want to correct myself with that. I apologize. I don't think Paul Rudd's the racist. Peyton Reed is the racist because I just remember this because Peyton Reed also did Bring It On. And in Bring It On, the black people went at the end of the movie. And I think he's been compensating for that with these three Ant-Man movies. So I think it's Peyton
And
Reed,
here's the
not Paul
thing,
Rudd.
Angela is spitting.
and you in my bag right now, Angela, because this is where what I say I liked about this movie. We had some fun moments. Jonathan Majors killed it. But narratively, it's some racist, weird stuff going on here. I don't. Now, what's this writing about? I don't know if I appreciate this. The first black villain get packed up
Yeah,
in two situations. I don't like that. I don't like that. We
I
haven't had a black villain yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He got packed up twice.
yeah, I
And they
think
could have oh, go
yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
think
Brown.
as part of the black delegation, I'm gonna need to see all of these feature scripts for Jonathan Majors every movie enters.
Yep. We gonna need some black editors. We gonna
Hmm.
need some feedback from the black editors.
And they better not do my girl Monica Rambeau wrong because it will be like bombs like Hiroshima in there.
Talk about it.
And they want to, and they get really got on my nerve because they say here in post the poster coming November 19th.
Mm.
Y'all really take me off with that.
Black men in the room. I want you to know how they treating your black men on screen right now. I don't like it. And if y'all okay with that, I don't like that. They letting these black men get packed up right in
It's
front of y'all.
nasty. It's
It's
very nasty.
it's very I don't during Black History Month. They said we're gonna release this movie during Black History Month. They was
Yeah,
in there
because
Giving
rehearsing.
anti-black.
I
It's
thought
giving
it was supposed
anti-black.
to
Black
be
man,
all the
I don't think you deserve I think you deserve better, black man. That's all I'm saying about this film. All I'm saying is that
yeah,
as a black man, I think you deserve better. I don't
because I
if
thought
I'm
it
wrong
was
for that, I'll be wrong for that.
yeah, I thought it was supposed to be, for this month, all the Caucasians to the back.
I thought
That's what
so
I thought.
too. And the whole Lang family right now is at Maggiano's. I want y'all to know we in this room right now. Kang is packed up,
It was
and the
giving Olive
whole Lang
Garden
family.
though.
It was, you know
Child.
what? I did give him a
They're
little too
both
much,
stale, so yeah.
It
and
wasn't even giving Maggiano.
not
It
too
You
was
much,
giving
bite your
Olive
tongue.
not too,
Garden with
yeah,
a
not too
mint
much on
chocolate
Olive
chip
Garden
ice
because Olive
cream
Garden.
cake
Hold
from
on,
Baskin
We're
Robbins
not gonna slander
selling.
Olive Garden,
hold
guys.
on, because
We're not gonna do that.
I kind of fuck with Olive Garden. Hold on.
I also fuck
Here's
with
the
Olive Garden, but it
thing.
wasn't giving
I
Maggiano's
can't say
either.
it
It
out
was giving
loud.
Olive Garden. Thank you so much.
Damn, Maggiano's ain't even that. I don't know. I saw some
But
green walls, some white
They
tablecloths. I
not.
said fine. They kind of rich. I mean, here's the thing. If you going to Olive Garden after a run-in with Kang, I'm telling you guys, I don't. Black men deserve better. That's all I'm saying. That's my final.
to your point,
My
Mo,
final.
he got mopped up by two octogenarians, a
Yeah.
teenager, and then of course Ant-Man and Wasp. Like what?
And,
And some
you see what I'm
ants.
saying?
The Avengers can go get
And
shawarma,
and
but
15 ants.
Scott and them can't go to Maggiano's. But Avengers can go get shawarma.
Well, the thing is that with the Avengers, it ended good, but it was just like very strange with Ant-Man.
You know what? I ain't even trip.
So,
Paul Rudd is gonna sing "Lift Every Voice and Sing," and y'all gonna be right back on
Henry,
the
let me tell you
bandwagon.
something, Henry. Corliss, if you're okay with a white family packing a black man up and going to Maggiano's to eat afterwards, then just say that. If you're okay with that during Black History Month, then just say that.
Never.
You
Like
know, I
they
also feel like I would respect the Ant more if it's the Hank Pym Ant Man and not the Scott Lang one, because I think Hank Pym is very like Tony Stark levels of Ant. Like, you know, like he's like the whole Iron Man story is the Hank Pym story from the comics and stuff. So like, if it was him that packed Kang up, I honestly wouldn't even be that mad at it.
it's
Uh,
like
I still would have been mad because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hank didn't do nothing. Hank limped up there, chilling, kind of snapped, stretched his neck a little bit. I'm almost certain somebody needs to like Photoshop a cane into that fucking scene because my man was chilling. He was chilling. He was on a recliner chair chilling. Somebody called him. He was playing the game. You know how you get a phone call while you playing Call of Duty? Somebody was playing the game. Someone was like, "Yo, we need some of your people." And he was like, "Oh, all right. I got a couple ants, bro. Just all right, bro. Like they've been trying to contact me this whole time, and I just realized they was calling me this whole time. Like I just deciphered the messages. Send 15 of them and hit me back when you're done. It wasn't even really Hank. It was his
You
ant.
said he said I'm gonna leave after this match. That's what you said.
He said, all right, I'm gonna get out. This is my last game, I promise. And then I'm coming with these ants, I promise you. My guy rolled up chilling. He didn't even roll up. They didn't even give him he didn't even breathe on the screen. He didn't give like a huge sigh of relief, like, all right, I gotta take on Kang, you know? My guy just rolled up chilling. He was like, ugh.
But that's
Hank
also
Pym.
like the weird thing because like in all of these movies, I feel like in all of the Marvel movies where we've gotten at least two movies, a mentor has died. Like it's
Somebody
obvious
has died. Somebody
Michael
has
Douglas
been
don't want to be
maimed.
there anymore. Like,
How
Michael,
come how
like
come Kang didn't have nobody stressed? Kang walk into my house right now. I'm chilling. I promise you, my heart rate's not going
well,
up. I'm
I'll
chilling.
tell you why. It's because, like y'all said, like Spy Kids, but it was actually Spy Kids Game Over, so they had lives.
You see what I'm saying? And here's the thing, I like Spy Kids, guys. I want to be clear. I don't want anything to be confused. Spy Kids movies are fantastic. They do what needs to be done. There's a good balance of hilarity and good narrative writing, and all the stories end and begin. There's a little bit of racism there too, but that's like the larger picture. Shout out Black History Month. And but I don't like the way they did that black man. It wasn't fair. Go ahead, Cheech. What were
Hank,
you gonna say?
Hank Pym is like in his 80s. He's an octogenarian, and he was able to pack
Yeah,
Kang up, and his heart rate never went above 75 BPM.
you
Like
know what's
this
crazy
is
though?
this
I
is an
was
injustice.
nervous the whole time that Hank was gonna go deaf in the whole movie. So I was stressed that the hearing aids were gonna go. He wasn't gonna be able to hear nothing happening in the quantum
The
realm.
man is 87 years old. He limped up on a hill, cracked his neck, sent 15 ants, and the movie was over. Everybody
And
went
Kang
home.
didn't kill none of them ants. He couldn't even catch an ant body. That's crazy.
I would expect that army, you know what I want? I want a pan. I want a wide shot of a bunch of dead ants and then some more coming to show that maybe, it was a little bit of a fight. Not one
That'd
ant
have
was
been
dead.
fire.
That would have been all right, guys. Narrative. Okay, all right, we got it. Okay, come on, storyline. Okay, I like that. Okay, damn, a bunch of ants got killed on a run-in with Kang. Okay, so the intergalactic genius and the advanced tech is kind of the same. Oh, that I would have been like, ah. We didn't see one ant die. All ants are alive. All of the ants are alive. I know. You know how I know they're alive is because you told me they're 1,000 years advanced in tech. That means if Kang fling them off of him, they're already being rebuilt as we speak. Lang family and Maggiano's ants rebuilt themselves. Everybody's okay.
No ants were harmed in the filming of this film. That's crazy. None.
None.
Peter had no issues with the movie, bro. That's how bad Kang went out.
Nobody was stressed. Everybody went home safely. Oh, he's the weaker Kang. Damn, the weak Kang let octogenarians and a 15-year-old go home? I'm sorry, but it's okay, guys. Teenagers are very annoying. Pack them up.
Is she 15? I thought she was like 19.
Child, 18, 19. I thought they were like celebrating a couple birthdays he missed, and she was like 13th birthday, 17, 18,
How old is
19.
this little girl,
How
child?
old is Cassie? She is an
She's like 18, 19.
Okay,
she's
that's
an
what I thought. But that
she's an
doesn't make sense to the math.
inexperienced teenager
The thing
that
is,
had a run-in with Kang the Conqueror and is currently celebrating her birthday at Maggiano's or Olive Garden.
I rank Cassie Lang above America Chavez because I mean she did a little something, but she still ain't doing nothing to me.
Can we talk about the white savior complex in Cassie? What's going on there? What, Cassie, sweetie?
And that's why Cassie needed to learn a lesson that her daddy died, and it was because she played too much.
You see what I'm saying,
Facts.
Cassie? Cassie,
It was
sweetie.
perfect way to teach her that lesson. You play too much.
Teach
Now look
her
what
the
happened.
lesson. Either
That
teach
is
her the
that.
lesson that your daddy died because you played too much, or your daddy is stuck in the quantum realm because you played too much. So like that was the lesson.
None of that happened. None of that happened, Kim. None of that. Everybody's chilling. Nobody learned a lesson. That teenager is gonna keep being annoying as fuck because she ain't learned a damn thing yet.
Cassie has no reason to fear the quantum realm anymore. She like them niggas down there. Pussy, I'll be that. They can't fuck
The
with me.
first 45
And
minutes of the
she couldn't
movie,
even fight in the Ant-Man suit. Like the suit was a waste. So like
she is
y'all
an
made her the suit and didn't teach
inexperienced
her nothing.
teenager that had a run-in with Kang the Conqueror and his killing machine. And
Yeah,
she's
I
at
was trying to
Maggiano's right now.
figure
She's
like
cool. She's chilling.
how is it that you are inexperienced and you managed to outrun MODOK?
Guys, it don't make sense. That's not, you're not being honest. That's not
MODOK
honest.
was only designed for killing. Who did he kill in the whole movie? Who did he kill?
Nobody.
He killed nobody.
Nah, but
Nobody.
He made
I
me
think he
laugh.
killed
Like
the.
he didn't get no
I think he
kills.
killed the indigenous people to quantum realm.
No, he
They treated the
blasted
indigenous
them.
people bad. They
He
treated them bad in
blasted
this
him.
film.
He blasted them. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't think they died. I think they're okay. I'm gonna put money on it. I think they're okay.
I think they're okay.
I think they're okay. I think the ants that Hank sent are probably gonna be able to rebuild them, or put some whatever serum in them, and they're gonna heal, and they're gonna be okay. I think everyone's okay in that film. I think everyone's fine. I don't think there was a lot of mania. I want to wrap this up for the last 8 minutes. I appreciate y'all. I think everyone was fine. I think the vacation to the quantum realm was cool. I think we saw a lot of cool things. I think Kang has bars. I'm excited to see new gentle Kangs.
He had about 15.
If the new Kangs are not as gentle, I'm not going to sit here and talk about it because I've seen two that got packed up by some octogenarians. So
wait,
I
Kang
can
want
I
is a liar.
can I ask a quick question?
sure.
Was there really was there really a Frederick Douglass King?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I don't remember that part of the I saw the end credits.
I
don't
literally said that when we walked out the film. I said, "Was that a Frederick Douglass King?" Why
That
would
was
you say that?
That was the abolitionist. Kang the abolitionist. This is it's different.
It's different. We're supposed to be shook, right? We got what, King Tut Kang, uh, Iron. What? Who was the other ones? Iron. What's the other Kang? Someone in here
Immortus.
is Immortus. Thank you, Immortus Kang, and we got Frederick Douglass King. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Frederick Douglass was a kind of reasonable guy. I don't know. I don't know. I'm on Frederick Douglass' side once again.
I can
So
tell
I'm
you
pretty
what, Frederick Douglass never killed any Avengers, so that's another Kang that is lying about killing Avengers.
that's another Kang that was chat. I'm telling you, we don't believe you. You need more people. I'm not scared of no Kang, and I think that's a disservice to the MCU.
okay.
I'm not scared of no damn Kang.
But do y'all think that Loki season 2 will be about finding all of the Kang variants?
I'm sorry. I don't think that it's quick maths. It's quick maths. If I meet, I'm gonna pick on you, Tej. If I meet two bitch ass Tejas, and the rest of you in the room tell me the third Tej is gonna be almighty and powerful, what do you think I'm gonna say to you?
Yeah, you have no reason to believe that.
Why would I? I don't care how many of you tell me this. I don't care. Well, what you don't know, Monique.
Honestly,
What you don't know, Monique, is that the third Tej is those first two Tejas were
But you know
gonna
what's
fight
crazy
the
though?
third
The
Tej.
first bitch ass Kang told Loki, and Loki has been shook since. So I don't know what had I don't really understand why Loki left so scared and shook. Like, oh my god, like that dude was right. I'm so
We're
scared. It's
all supposed to
crazy.
be shook on some thoughts
Because
and
Kang has
apprehensions.
bars, but Kang is a liar. We know that Kang is a liar, bros. We
We
know that
literally
Kang
know
be
Kang is
talking
a
about
liar.
what he been doing, but then he got packed up by ants. You didn't kill no Avengers if all it took was some ants to beat you. You didn't kill no Avengers. I promise you that. You didn't
You
kill
didn't
any
kill no
Avengers.
Avengers. What
You
Avengers
didn't.
did you kill? You killed Avengers on a
Black
bunch of
Widow would
ass.
have had Kang in hell. No powers at all to speak of. She would have whooped Kang ass. Facts.
child, Squirrel Girl would have had him in hold.
Kang's
Okay,
power
and a
comes from
chokehold.
dude.
Why would I believe that the next Kang is powerful? Why?
First of
Why?
all, the next king we're going to see is the one in Loki that's dressed like Booker T. Washington.
We gonna get Frederick Douglass King, and y'all gonna sit up here and tell me the same thing you
Man,
said
y'all
today.
better leave W.E.B. Du Bois King alone, man. I will not
All
stand
right.
for this. I will not
Okay.
stand for this.
Fine. If Loki, bitch ass Kang, and Quantumania, which is really Quantum Meditation, bitch ass Kang, or just, oh, you guys, you wait till the next one. All right, fine, sure. I'm not scared, guys. You're gonna have to show me. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
No,
to
Monique,
but
show me.
but I think you're
seriously,
forgetting there's a stadium full of Kings. There's like so many of them. So even if they all are bitch ass niggas individually, now we got like 50,000 bitch ass niggas ready to apparently
I
kill some
mean,
It's
Avengers. I guess.
hilarious.
I
I
guess.
really
I
feel
mean,
like
I'm scared.
that's
honestly,
wow.
this
I
is
don't
no
think,
shade, but the Kangs in the audience is giving very much the Chitari.
guys, if you present to me two bitch ass Kangs that let a group of inexperienced teens and a couple limping octogenarians work. No work. They worked him. Excuse me what I'm trying to say. I can't even speak because I'm shocked at these decisions here.
You,
You're
you
gonna
know,
tell
you know
me that
what's
I'm
funny?
supposed to be afraid of the other. Can we use? Let me do you guys a favor. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do you the favor. Go look up the term variant. You mean to tell me that a variant of a bitch ass nigga I'm supposed to be shook of?
I'm just gonna
You
say
just
this.
it's a variant of what is a bitch.
You're making too
Uh,
much sense.
I'm
I'm
gonna
making
just say this real quick because the dialogue about being scared of Kane is hilarious because that's
But
not the
Henry,
idea here.
don't lie. I
Because the
know you
goal
love the
here,
movie though, but
look,
don't lie. Aren't we supposed to be scared of Kang? Is that
but
not
Wait,
here's the
who
supposed to
thing.
be?
loved the
It
movie
doesn't matter.
though?
It
I
doesn't
thought we
matter
said it was not that good. I
Okay,
thought
go
we
ahead.
all
Go ahead.
agreed
Go
on
ahead,
it.
Henry. Go ahead. Get your bars off,
because
Henry. Go
because
ahead.
here's the thing. It doesn't matter. Somebody in here said we're already like crack fiends for this shit. Kevin Feige is sitting at his desk like Tony Montana, like okay, another Guardians movie that love me in the morning. This this is where we're at now. It's
I
okay.
know.
That's
Trust
okay.
me.
You'll
Me,
be back.
me, me and my
I
friend the
will be
cat.
back though. That's true.
Me. What I
Exactly.
tell
We'll
y'all?
all
Didn't
be
I
back.
tell y'all? I'm watching every Marvel movie they put out.
No,
Yeah,
that's not true. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching Eternals too. I have limits.
I'm watching all of
there's
them.
some
I
stuff we
didn't.
skipping.
Trey,
There-
you
We
can't be
skipping
coming.
Eternals 2 and Moon Knight season 2. Them are skipped. Them are officially skipped.
No, we ain't gonna do Eternals like that now.
Hold on now, yeah, because I'm gonna watch the
Eternals wasn't
Eternals.
even
You
that
know what? You know
bad.
what? You know what
Oh
the? You know
yes,
what
it
the?
was.
Let me use this to also.
Every Guardians movie is right there before Eternals.
Let me show
Chloe
you.
Zhao
Amen.
is an
He's just
unserious
Amen.
filmmaker. She is
Let
unserious.
me let me tell y'all how I also have beef with this movie because of the Eternals. Do y'all know that Kang be having Celestials shook? Do you know what Celestials do? They
That's a
give birth
lie.
to entire planets. Kang has those people shook. Have they ever spoken to? My question is, have
look,
they ever even spoken to a Kang?
I'm not gonna
Because
lie. When
I'm not shook by no Kang. Someone quickly alert the Celestials that they need to calm down and there's
Please
nothing
keep
to
I,
saying
worry about.
that. Please.
I have words that I would like to say in honor of ML King. I really need to let it know. I need to acknowledge y'all.
No, that's literally who he is in this film.
First and
They
foremost, I need to know what Kevin Feige was on January 6th. There's no
correct,
reason
Facts.
that this movie
correct,
you put this movie out in
correct,
February. You
correct.
I cannot stress how to
Played it
the
in your.
very end I wanted him to come back. And again, the reason that I am no longer fearing of the stadium full of Kangs is
Trey,
because
I'm
the
with you,
stadium
bro.
full of Kangs was supposed to fear this one fucking Kang.
Trey,
And
can
this
we talk about this?
one
Facts.
Kang got his ass whooped by the goddamn
Ants,
Centric
sweetie.
commercial.
Correct.
You got whooped by a motherfucker in with a goddamn hearing aid on. He, you, you ain't have
You see
that
how they
whole
do the
suit.
black man, and
Listen,
black man's supposed to be okay with this?
that
You see
whole
how they did the
suit,
black man in the movie?
that whole suit, and he ain't have raid. He ain't have no kind of Terminex in the bitch.
Trey, I
Nothing.
want to ask you a question. Trey, how
No
many
bug
ants?
spray whatsoever.
Trey,
Nowhere to
Trey,
be
how
found.
many ants died in this film?
None. No.
None.
Peter.
None.
Peter. The agenda.
None.
The agenda.
If
No
Harry
animals were
Styles kills a
harmed
Kang,
during.
we're rioting. That is my limit. If Harry
Hang on.
Styles kills a
Time out.
Kang,
Hang on.
we are
Wait. I'm
rioting.
I'm about to put
Who's
my
this
woke.
Harry Styles character again? I forgot.
I'm putting my woke
Some
hat
white
on.
nigga.
He's Eros.
I want you to know this. I'm putting my woke hat on for this. I'm putting my woke
Trey,
hat on.
Harry
I'm telling
Styles
you,
Let
might
me
you
kill
in
a
the
king. Isn't he like
Trey,
famous
you're
for
in the right space to put your woke
hang on.
hat on. We're with
Let
you. I'm
me
with you.
let me
Speak,
run
brother.
my shit.
Speak, brother.
The
Speak,
premise
brother.
of
Let him
this
speak.
movie is sorry if y'all can correct me afterwards. This white lady fucked over this black man.
Correct.
She didn't trust this
Racially
man.
profiled him.
Correct.
This man said, "Hey, I'm
That's correct.
actually trying to save y'all from worse shit."
That's
This
correct.
woman did him dirty,
That's correct.
hid, ran away from it, left everyone else to suffer. Told her family she didn't want to discuss it. Came
Correct.
back in here, find out she was doing it. She was out here having entanglements.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Having entanglements, wilding out. They find out that they were fucking, that this lady fucked over this man, and the end result.
I want you to
It,
know.
mhm.
I want y'all to know that if y'all like this movie, y'all trust a white woman's revision and presentation of a black man.
Well, first of
Her
all, Kang got to leave the white
family,
women alone. I think Kang
her.
learned a valuable lesson about dealing with white women in this film.
I just got to get this off.
Go
Her
ahead.
family
Mm-hmm.
jumped in and
Mm-hmm.
came to their defense, and she never once actually got held accountable for any of this stuff.
You see how white
And
women get
yet
away with stuff?
they
We've seen it
decided
too
that
many times before.
they killed this man.
Listen,
Hang on. The
we
last thing I'm gonna say,
Oh,
that
go
he
ahead, Trey.
destroyed his entire empire. That,
Thank you, Trey.
and walked and went
listen
home.
And
because
went to
Je-
Maggiano's. They were there. Let me tell y'all something. They made that reservation before they accidentally got stuck in the realm. They made
Olive
it back
Garden.
in time. They made it back in time for that reservation. I want to be very clear. That reservation was for 7:45. They got sucked into the quantum realm at 2:15 p.m. and they got back and they went right down the street to Maggiano's. They're like, "Damn, did you?" Okay, so yeah, that was kind of fucked up. Anyways, y'all dressed? All right, everybody good? No hospital? No? Anybody got to pee? No? Okay. All right, let's
Jenna
grab a
is
bite.
a Karen, and they
The-
let her
it-
cook.
listen,
Trey, and I want to highlight what you said, Trey.
if you turn the subtitles on, you'll see that those ants said the N word on the way out. You needed
You
those
needed the
voice
sub to
bubbles.
wait till
no
Trey.
because listen,
You spitting,
we
Trey,
we
because I just want to Trey. You were interrupted a couple times. If you need to finish, go ahead. But I also just want to highlight that you said that she didn't get to talk about it. So what y'all are telling me after all of the shit we done seen during COVID and before, ever since the 2014 things, I ain't gonna say it out loud because I ain't gonna y'all gonna think I'm trolling, but I'm kind of with you, Trey. Do we really trust white women that don't want to speak about what they saw a black man do? All right, okay.
my
She didn't
thing
talk about it
That
for.
were in.
All right.
is
Not
that
only did she see this, she didn't tell nobody. I don't
Hang
know
on,
about
wait,
Trey.
no. I'm about to even more make y'all cook. And the reason why I say, man, listen, I don't know how I feel about the Marvel universe. Reminds you, she saw the past, she saw whatever, and she saw what this dude was capable of, and I'm gonna put it into this. I'm going to stop this because millions of lives could be jeopardized. And he say, hey, listen, I understand you're worrying about million, but it's a kabillion, quadrillion number of lives that are even worse at risk for
If you
what
don't,
can happen.
yeah, if
And,
you
and the
don't
shit,
let me cook, right, right.
and the shit that is pissing me off here is, and this is kind of my shit, my problem with time travel movies at all. They don't mind going back in time. They stopping this. They're stopping this. They're changing this. They went back to Thanos so that they can change history,
Correct.
so that they can win. But nonetheless, Captain America went back in time so he can enjoy slavery. You didn't want to fix none of that shit while you were out there, cuz you just sat there for that
Hello,
shit.
wake it up.
And here's the thing.
And the
Here's my
Eternals watched
issue.
slavery happen and they didn't do a goddamn thing about it.
No, they created slavery, right? Because they created the and they
Hello?
put the. Okay, here's the thing. I told you this was said in the What We Watch space, and I want y'all to know. And at the time that this person said it, I hope I could. Maybe I need to go back to my recordings and listen to everything. In one of them spaces, he said, this multiversal thing is a cheat code, and that's a very thin line. It becomes a fucking crutch and complacency, right? Because to Henry's point and the Dior homies point and our point, I'm watching every film. If it comes out, I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm subscribed to multiple movie subscriptions. I don't pay for movies as I go. I pay about $20 a month, and I get to see as many movies as I want. I'm gonna watch the movie. So they already got us. So, I mean, whomst among us in this room, if you know your job is going to pay you regardless, and matter of fact, not only are you going to get a raise regardless, what type of work are you really going to put into this?
That's a great point.
They gonna drop that ML Kang variant that never got assassinated, and y'all gonna switch up y'all tunes so
No,
quick.
because
Here's
the
the
thing
thing.
is,
Have I
They,
killed an
No,
Avenger
I
listen.
before?
hope so. I
No,
hope so. That's what I want y'all to know. I'm not. This is not. I don't feel dejected. I am so hopeful and so dedicated. I am so hopeful that we get to see Kane cook. I hope so too, guys. I really do.
no,
Because
but can
what we
I
saw
I
today
I
was
I have a
racist.
question. Do y'all think that the blackface king is the prime king, like the big bad?
If Kevin Feige is in charge, no. But
the
I
thing.
have a theory. I have a theory that I'm like, this is my theory, and I'm like, it can't be this because it feels like it's too like either it's too smart or too stupid. Here's my theory. Okay, I'm straight up, no logic behind it, just very logic. So you remember, unless you see somebody die, they never really died. Hypothetically, we just saw the one that they fear go in this little red thing and just kind of went else, whatever. If we find out later that this one that died is actually going to come back and somehow he who remained and somehow this is how he remained because he stayed behind it, I'd be like, oh shit, that was a beautiful strategy. That was a beautiful plan. I don't feel like that's what's going to happen, but that would be fucking fire if he's like, yeah, no, I
well,
just went
baby,
in a deeper way.
you are in no way alone in that hope or that like that would be dope. Trust me. But here's the thing, guys. I go back to my initial point. I'm gonna wrap this up. These movies should stand alone and be complete, empowering, fun films. These are movies, right? I feel like Henry. I'm gonna cook your ass right now, real quick, just with love. You know, there's this idea that Marvel exists out of cinema. No, no, no. This is cinema, guys. Each movie should be a complete, full, narratively sound, fun, exciting, entertaining film. Whether or not 2020, we might not even see 2035, guys. You gonna sit up here and tell me that we gonna do this for the rest of our lives? The next one gonna really show you guys. No, 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 no. You can show me, you can create anticipation for the next movie and still give me a fucking awesome movie right now. You could do both.
I will say I really felt like waiting for Black Panther 2 kind of steered me in the right direction. Like, don't get me wrong, parenting, living for my kids kept me alive, but knowing that I couldn't die without without seeing the next level of Black Panther 2, that shit kept me going strong. It was like, dog, risky decision? Nah, man. Nah, man.
Hey man, and
can
at
I
the end of
can
the
I
day,
just
if
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry,
Corliss.
if y'all are really out on Marvel, that's cool. Like James Cameron has devoted the last quarter century of his career to making motion capture Pocahontas. So
I'm in.
there's that option for y'all as well.
I'm
Yo,
in, guys.
Well,
I'm in.
Oh,
the
you talking about the movie with the blue people? Okay.
I'm in.
I do
yo,
want to point.
unserious cinema.
Have we
Avatar Way of Water, I'm in.
have we
Avatar
talked
Way of
about?
Fire, I'm in. Avatar Way of Earth, Rocks and Mud, I'm in. Avatar Way of Air, I'm in. Let's do
I
it.
didn't even go to the movie
You about
theater.
to sit
That
in the
shit was
theater for 4 hours?
Let's do it.
Have
Let's do it.
time?
I live a
I
leisurely
I only
I
Yo,
live
know
a
one
leisurely, beautiful
Avatar.
life and appreciate cinema. Let's do it. Come on, James Cameron. Y'all
so
need to go
that
watch Titanic. That shit was fire in theaters. I had no idea.
did you go see 40X or regular?
I went to see the 3D. Do I need to
No,
see the
no, no.
4DX?
the
You
rest
in
of us
LA,
have
you
already
need to go to
seen
40X.
Titanic in 3D. You're just young. We saw
Wait,
Titanic in the theaters when it came out.
hang on, time out.
Y'all
Because
old as hell. I didn't get to do
No,
that.
no, no,
I didn't
no.
experience it.
TJ, hang on. You and Mo are both in LA right now, right?
I be watching 15 movies a week, bro.
No, no, no. Do you know?
Same.
Have you gone to watch 40X in Regal?
Yes, of
Oh
course,
yes, I
multiple
have.
Okay,
times.
That stuff
long
made
story
my
short, then.
stomach turn. Like I watched some movie in it,
I
and I was
love
like,
4DX.
I
Listen,
couldn't
I
even eat the
honestly think
popcorn. I was nauseous. I left that theater ready to vomit on everybody.
that
here's
shit
the
ruined me.
thing,
I don't want to see a regular
Henry.
movie.
But to your point, Henry, I'm not out on Marvel. I think Quantumania should have had a different title. I think it should have been Ant-Man and the Lang Family Vacation. That's my issue with the film. Just name it something else.
Listen,
Um,
because we argue about how that white woman screwed him up, but he gonna turn into a whole white man possibly in the future.
You see what I'm saying? This is Ant-Man, Quantum Meditation, the Lang Family Vacation.
I do have a question though for everyone. I guess like moving forward in the MCU, who are gonna be the heavy hitters when we come to fight this like real big bad Kang
Apparently,
in
Ant
the
Man is
Avengers?
all you need. What you
All
mean?
you need is Ant-Man and some
Ant-Man, what?
ants.
The
This is
fact
really, you
that
know what
Kevin,
this is? You know what y'all could, you
I
know what y'all are,
It's the way we
you know
got an
what
Ant Man, we got a depowered nigga
y'all are
bird, we got like
uplifting the Ant-Man agenda, and I want y'all to take some
all
time
I
to think
know
about what
is
that means.
we can't rely on Miss Captain Marvel, so that's the next.
so
I
we
want
should.
y'all to know that if Kang is coming and he's going to be more powerful, this
Kamala
is,
Kamala is coming. My daughter Kamala is coming, and she gonna kill like 10 Kangs at least.
Before
I
I
don't,
say
Just
I'm not
mm,
afraid. You tell me that the last two bitch ass trays that I encountered are the weaker versions of a future tray. I don't care. Bring on the future tray as well. Oh, we have a stadium full of weak ass trays. Okay, they're all fucking
wait,
weak. I'm
wait.
gonna
Can,
get.
can can we swap this to TJ?
I'm
I'm
a hop. I already did TJ. I'm so sorry. I'm a hop on the mic in that stadium and bar the stadium of trays up, and they all gonna fold. And then I'm gonna call Hank and I'm gonna say, Hank, it's about 90,000 of them in here.
but I
I
told
need
you
you to.
that's the Chitari. That's the
I'm not.
Chitari right there in the audience.
I'm not afraid of multiple weak ass kings. What? And
Kang is a liar.
if you want me
Kang
to
is a
do different
gaslighter, and he's
math,
a liar.
Kane sits
he's
on
a
the throne for
liar.
the lies. Hey, here's the thing.
Jay Z was rapping about Kang. He wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. I'm telling you right now, because he
Facts.
didn't. How many bodies were? How many people? If you're gonna shy away from darkness to make this more like whatever. You know what? Life happens, guys. We don't have to kill anybody. Fine, don't kill anybody. Put some people in the hospital. Let the family go home and kind of cry, or like, be really shook. Let the existential crisis of Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, live a little bit longer, right? That's not dark. That's just life. What is this attachment to not being dark? So much so that like we're not even being light. We're just being dishonest. That's not
Well,
light.
to
That's
the point.
dishonest. They're at Maggiano's chilling after a run-in with Kang. And you want me to say that the post-credit scenes are supposed to have me shook? No. No.
To that point, they didn't. They didn't have a problem being dark. They had no problem killing off the black man. I want to throw that out there. They had no
Uh,
problem killing
you
some.
know what? That's correct.
So, but also, I want to lead with this, and
Notice how that movie's not dark because they only let the black man die. Notice.
oh,
Notice.
yeah.
All right.
Do you anybody remember Ready Player One?
Yes, that
Yes.
dark ass movie.
Hence why I'm glad you feel that way, because this should be Ready Player Ant-Man, because that whole last ending was literally Ready Player One. Like that whole ending
Everything is
where
fine.
and I was just like, oh god, and I remember groaning so much. And then when she did this, I was like, this feels like a movie I've seen. And then like when they broadcast, we need everybody to come meet at the Citadel. We're gonna push through whatever, blah blah blah. And
Mm-hmm.
they show up there last minute, hoping that they can get through, hoping they can let down the force field. And just as you
Mm-hmm.
let down the force field, everyone come in. I was like, dog, this is Ready Player One. This is even fucking lazy.
It also seems like that movie with Adam Sandler's in it where they brought back all the old video games in
I know what you're
with
talking about.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
Not
Rick, it's not Ricky Ralph. Can't be.
No.
not I know what you're talking about. Where with the remote and stuff. Didn't it have like a
Yeah.
remote on the poster? I know
Not
what you're talking
Click.
about. No. Oh, is that Click? Spanglish? Not Spanglish. What the hell? I know what you're talking about.
Free Guy.
I'm gonna
Is
look it
it
up. That ain't Adam
It's
Sandler.
Oh, never
That's
mind.
Pixels. It's
Pixels?
Pixels.
Yes.
thank you. Yes, thank you. It was some remotes on that Pixels. Yes. Um, I appreciate you guys. To wrap this up, please become a member of the community whatwewatch.net. We have amazing conversations about film as films, as they are, as we should be presented, parallel to other films, things we experience in their universes. The number one film and TV community to talk film with people from different backgrounds and perspectives. I really appreciate y'all being here. Um, I'm glad that we all watched Ant-Man and the Lang family head to Quantum Meditation. I think that was a great film. I think we had a great time. I'm looking forward to meeting Kang. I think it's going to be exciting when we meet Kang. That's going to be a good time um, because I don't know who we met recently. I'm not sure. Jonathan Majors, you are a fantastic person. Cassie, so sorry they wrote you that way. I'm not sure why teenagers get to cook like this. This is it's a problematic agenda to let teenagers cook like this. to let white families go home safely like this all the time when black families don't get to do that. Kang has a family, and he didn't get to go back home to his family. And so I don't appreciate that. Thank you. Hashtag what we watch. Tell your friends to listen to this recording. Y'all spit bars. Thank you so much. That's Ant-Man the Quantumania with What We Watch. Bye.